want to take a shot on those two questions. But basically, if you ask these two questions, it's basically regards if you believe in God or if you don't. It's pretty much answer to life. Who are you and why are you here? Who are you? So do you guys talk about like what you look like you're searching for a lot of things? Are you searching for you guys talk about what you're searching for? Or
talk about like goals and things like that. So yeah, it does help me like search for things, I guess, in a way, and realize like goals that I didn't realize I had, I guess. You know what I mean? And like I said, like just I don't know, we learn a lot, and I'm learning about a lot more.
Why don't you tell us what happened to you, bro?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, just like that, basically, just coming here, you're right, like I have been searching for things and I have been thinking a lot lately, and you know what I mean, I felt like I was kind of settling at my current job. Like, not completely, you know what I mean, but after a while, like I had a meeting with my sales manager and everything like that, and I was expecting to get a little bit more than they were offering, especially for the amount of work I've been putting in over there, so I was kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I was super irritated, so that's why I was definitely looking for a lot of other work, you know what I mean, because I don't like to settle for things. Like, if I know I can do better, I know I deserve more, like, you know what I mean, like, you just gotta know your worth sometimes, and maybe I don't deserve more, maybe I just feel that way, and I've learned that myself, like, you know what I mean, it's like I've worked other jobs where it's like, I thought that same thing where it's like, damn, I deserve more than this, they're not paying me enough, blah, 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 and I quit my job thinking that the grass is gonna be greener on the other side, and it's not, and you know what I mean, it's like, damn, like, I said, like, you know what I mean, like 6 times. No. But, yeah, really, it's just like, I've learned that, and this week, again, the amount of work that I've been putting in, it's the same amount of work, if not more, than some of the other agents that were at my office that I was working at, and so I just felt like after having my meeting and, like, hearing that offering and everything like that, like, I accepted it, like, initially, because I didn't have a backup plan just yet, because I was expecting more. But then I went out and I was looking for, you know, new work and everything like that, and just this last week I decided that I'm not going to keep this position, you know what I mean, because like I found a little bit something that's a little bit better for me, I think, and not just when it comes to money. That's one thing that I think that I've been learning, like I'm saying, like I've been learning about myself again, like trying to figure out, it's like I've been asking myself, like, what do you want to do, you know what I mean, it's like I haven't asked myself that, like, exactly, like, for a while. I haven't really asked myself that, like, truly, and had like a real answer for it. Because like before, it's like, what do you want to do? It's like, I want to be successful. That's the easy answer, you know. Like, but what does that mean to you? Is what I've been asking myself. Is like, what is success? Like, success is different to everybody else. Like, I really believe that everybody has different definitions for these words that we use all the time. That's why it's like we all may feel completely different about like what success is. And to me, I've been trying to figure that out. And like I was thinking, like, you know, for a while I thought like I definitely want to be well off. I want to be comfortable, because you're right. Like, money is important. Like, you can't live in this country without money. Like, at least you need some sort of income to pay for just living. Like you said, you need to eat your food, you need to drink your water, whatever. Like, stay alive, it costs money. But that's not necessarily what I want out of life. Like, I was thinking, like, what is it that I really want? And so I was thinking, like, you know, I want to leave a lasting impact. So that's what, like, kind of determined what I wanted to start looking for in work. And I wanted to start working with, like,
are you still searching for that?
No, I
defined it right now.
I just got a new job, actually. I got like I had like my 3rd interview today, and I just got hired, so it was cool. Like that happened today, literally. Like, I had a feeling I was gonna get it like last week,
bro.
But like literally today, like it happened.
Cool. Remember you texted me Tuesday or Wednesday, and you were like, bro, like.
Oh, that's because I knew I was gonna quit my job already. Then I was already like irritated. I was like,
yeah,
I was like, I'm done with this job. Like,
you were convicted, bro.
I'm not getting played over here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I deserve more, and like I just feel like.
So you quit?
Yeah, I quit my job.
You're more braver than I am.
And so what's this new job?
I've quit a lot of jobs. That's the thing. I've quit a lot of jobs.
That's awesome, man.
I've had a lot of jobs, and like sometimes it's not good though. Yeah, you're right, and that's why, like I said earlier, like I'd rather be living on a futon, like dead broke, you know, at 40, 50 years old, than be a little bit comfortable thinking like, you know, well, fuck, I should have done that. Like, having regrets, you know what I mean? Like, that's just the life I want to live. Like you said, like you talk to people who are on their deathbeds and stuff like that. Like, and I've read a ton of stuff like that, and I've talked to like these EMTs and stuff, and they talk about that too. Like, that they ask these people and stuff, and it's like they have regrets. They had more things that they wanted to accomplish in life, or more things that they even wanted to try. Like, I don't want to have that when I die. Like, you know, like I want to be able to die tomorrow and just be like, well, everything that I did today was like, I was happy that I got that done. You know, like, I want to be able to live that kind of life. Like when I go to sleep, it's like if I don't wake up, I want to be happy with my day and the life that I've been living. And so it's like,
You remind me of my brother.
yeah.
Do you mind me telling you his story? That's my
I
younger
have
brother.
a question for him now.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah.
So are you saying that you kind of like reprioritize your goals in a way where like you're prioritizing less money now and more?
Like not necessarily less money. Like I still want to have
Yeah.
a cool amount of money. Like I want my bank account to be like super healthy. But really, honestly, who's your other boy who came last time?
Justin?
Like Justin, he said some stuff and I was like, damn, like
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking this. Like you know what I mean? I was so preoccupied and caught up in like
Making
trying to be
and
like trying to make money and like trying to do whatever and things like that. And it's
you
like
mentioned like relationships.
and I was like
That was
travel,
the point,
and it was like damn, like
You know, I could be wrong, but it seems like you're looking for peace.
yeah, definitely. Like today they asked me, you know, like what's your biggest goal? Like what do you want to be next year? And I was like, I just want to be happy. Like more
You're
than
looking
anything,
for peace.
I want to be happy. Like, cause you know what I mean. It's like I've done a ton of different things. I've quit a ton of different jobs. I've made good money. I've been broke. Like you know, I've done it. Like, and it's like I'm just trying to figure out what's gonna make me actually happy. Like you know,
And you
what's
feel-
gonna make me.
You're
happy.
just looking for peace, man.
Yeah, exactly, and that's like I think,
You're
but
looking
like
for peace.
that's what I think. Feel like you know, a lot of people are looking for sometimes. So like I don't know, just
And so what was it
The
that you feel
problem
like?
is a lot of people ignore that.
what.
But you know,
Like-
it's
Yeah, they don't like go towards that goal. They like want
It
to
is
do
so
it.
difficult.
Like it, yeah, because it's just like I don't know. I grew up listening to a lot of rap music and like I don't know. It's super inspirational. People don't even realize that. Like these guys came from struggle and stuff like that. Like one of my favorite lines that I always remember is like never be content with the present. And it's like I just like you can be happy and like I said, be thankful and just love your life. Like that's definitely key. But never get so content that you don't want to keep progressing. You know what I mean?
Then
Like
forget
things
about
can
the
be
rest of your
good,
life.
but it could always be better. Like you know,
Yeah.
it's like so that's one thing that I really strive for, and like I just like I said, like I just want to be happy. Like I want to know what it's like to just be like super happy going to work, like just super happy doing everything. Not like damn my job's boring, like pays my bills, whatever. Da, da, da. Like I just want to be like what I'm doing is like helping not just me be happy, it's helping other people, and that's what I thought is like that's what I want, and that's something that I've always kind of wanted. You know what I mean? I've always like. That's one thing that makes me so passionate about like politics, is that politics play a huge role in everybody's life, and that's one thing that I think that I want to do more than anything is I want to leave an impact, like a lasting impact in my community or just on people, and it's like so that's what I really am striving to do now. And I was looking into this work, and I started looking into like this job that works with non-profit organizations and you know things of that nature, and it's just like after looking into that I was like really interested about it, and they had an opening and I applied and went to the you know the interviews, and I think that what really helped me get this job was like just again like re-diving into all this content that I've been listening to again. Like I said, like I stopped kind of listening to Gary Vee, like I would watch his little snippets and stuff like that, but like now I'm again listening to these hour-long podcasts and stuff like that.
Same
like,
here, bro. I've been doing more now.
Like,
Exactly.
gives you a boost of energy
Exactly.
and motivation, huh?
Yeah.
I feel like what this is
Gary
doing
Vee gives
also,
it to
it's
you
like
straightforward, man.
it's
Yeah.
making it seem like, dude, this is my life. Like this is part of my life. Like I need to be consuming this stuff now.
Exactly.
Like, and I don't know what it is. Like I just naturally go to it now. Before I was sometimes like, man, I feel like this is kind of a chore to like
Yeah.
hit up on my
Yeah,
podcast
like
and
it
find
drives.
pick up a book. Yeah, it's like, man, I know I this is great stuff to be listening, but I'm not even doing shit.
Yeah.
And then now when I'm coming here, I feel like I'm doing something, and like I feel it, and I'm also seeing it carrying over to like the rest of my life. You know, I'm starting to realize the different skills I need to be developing. Like I realize too, like even day to day at work, while I'm at work talking to these people, I'm literally developing skills that I could be using to become more of who I am. You know.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally telling somebody who just broke their fucking legs to get out of bed, trying to motivate them to get out of bed and walk.
Mhm.
Like that's something I can use like right here talking to you guys. Like that's my hope, and I think that's my dream, and what I aspire to be is like someone that can motivate people to accomplish their fitness goals or
Yeah.
accomplish their financial goals, you know, whatever it may be, just
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
do something, you know? And yeah, man, this stuff is doing something for me too. Like
yeah, I swear,
I
it's
feel
like,
it.
like you said, like before it was like a chore. Like I would read these books, and I have these books that I want to finish, and I'd read them, and then I'd be like a chapter in, like what the hell did I even read? Like you know what I mean? Just like thinking about everything else in the world that's happening right now. I'm just like, all right, I'll read that later. Not reading it. Like you know, like. And again, like you said, like listening to this podcast and stuff like that, I'm like, I don't even want to listen to this. I'm putting on some Migos, like you know, like So,
Definitely.
but lately again, it's like, I don't know, it's just really inspired me. And like I said, like, because of that stuff and because I started like reading this stuff again and listening to this stuff, like, I really think that's the reason why I got this job. Like, honestly, like literally, like, you sent me that podcast, like, and I listened to it on Friday when I had like my second interview, and like I used that guy's quote in my interview because I was like,
What was his quote again?
life supports that which supports life.
Oh.
And life supports that which
Souls.
supports life.
Yeah, and I swear, and it's like, and like little stuff like that, like I really think that helped close like, you know, this little deal for me right here, like, you know, so it's like, and again, it just inspired me to do it, but really more than that, it's like, again, I was thinking like, I want to leave a lasting impact on people, like, I'm helping people get houses or whatever, I'm not really doing shit, I'm just sitting here, I'm writing contracts, I'm helping the builder make money, you know what I mean?
You're a real estate agent?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I do real estate a little bit on the side, and that's one thing that I was like, again, just thinking too. I was thinking about that, like, where I'm at again. It's like I'm settling. Like, I got my real estate license not to fucking sit and open up. I'm like in a model home on my weekends, and you know, like, sell these. They're decent priced homes, but the amount of commission I was getting on it is like not decent, and especially after that meeting that I had, I was like even less decent. So it's like I got into real estate because I wanted those commission checks, real talk, like that. I believe in real estate, of course, but I've seen those commission checks, and I want those commission checks, and that's why I got into real estate, is because I wanted to do resale, and I saw the potential, and I saw the amount of money that these people can make, and that's what I want to do. But not only that, like, of course, like I said, like, more than that, I want to leave a lasting impact, like, on people and in my community. And I think that with my new position here, it can help me, you know, get back into resale. Like, I'll have my weekends open again, for the most part, and I can start doing that again as like part-time or something like that. But I just wanted to focus on this. And what's really cool about this position, actually, like the coolest thing, the reason why I was like super excited that I got this job was because, like I said, I'm working with nonprofits and things like that. But what they're doing is that it's a growing company, and they're looking to continue growing. And so they kind of basically build entrepreneurs. It's kind of how they sold it to me. But again, you know how they do at interviews, like they try to oversell stuff. So it's like,
You got these bonuses and stuff.
yeah, exactly, like all that stuff and stuff like that. But they're just talking about, like, you know, where you can be, like, actually after a year from now. And they talk about some of the people who have started, you know, and some people made it there in like 6 months, and like they're partners in the company, opening up new offices in like different states and stuff like that. And like, not only are they doing that, they show you, and they broke it all down to me, like all the different positions. As you go up the positions, like the more you learn about the business, or not just about the business, but about business in general, and about how to run and operate your own business. And that was one reason, like, I really wanted this position as well, is because it's going to show me a lot. I'm going to learn a lot, is how I feel, at least at the moment. And with that, I think that I'll be able to become a successful, like, resale realtor at some point. I don't think, like, it's going to happen overnight, obviously, you know what I mean? But I think that was my biggest problem with having that venture and not being successful in that, as successful as I wanted to be, really, is that I didn't know how to run and operate my business, like, successfully. Like, I didn't even understand that it was a business at first, you know. I just thought, like, sell real estate. But, like, no, it's like, yeah, like,
That's congratulations, man.
yeah, so it's like, you know, I start next week, so it's like, I don't even know what I'm really getting into yet, but,
Oh shit.
That's awesome, man.
Got this.
Nice.
I'm excited
Yeah.
to hear more.
yeah, and I'm just, yeah, I don't know, it's just like I said, like, I just wanted to do something a little bit different, and I think this is, like, cool, because not only is it going to help me grow, like I said, but it's like, the impact that I'm gonna be making in the communities, and I mean the organizations that we're going to be working with are like things I actually want to work with, you know. Like, one of their biggest clients is they work with like DARE, like you guys all remember DARE.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like DARE, like I'll be like, DARE's non-funded anymore, so what we do is a lot of fundraising for DARE, and like,
Oh,
you know, like companies like that aren't funded, that are helping, you know, in some small way. Like, I don't know if DARE really helped me, like, you know, but
It didn't help me.
I'm sure.
I think
They stopped doing the propaganda against
It's been there
so
for
I think
years.
they're better now.
probably, I don't know, honestly, yeah, but there's like all sorts of, you know, organizations and things like that, and I just felt like that was just something that I kind of wanted to do a little bit more than what I'm doing currently, like, and I hope that it all pays off, and that eventually I'll be making more money where I'm at now than I would have been where I'm at, or where I was. But again, like, literally I never left an interview. Like, I went to my first interview, I never left an interview not knowing how much money I'm going to make, thinking that I really wanted this job. Like, I remember calling my sister, like, super excited, like, I just, like, hell want this job. Like, I've never left a company or an interview or anything like that, and, like, them not telling me how much I'm going to make, and me thinking, like, damn, I want this position.
That's it.
You know, like I didn't even know how much money they were gonna offer me or anything like that right off the bat. And it's just like, it's not like I'm making anything crazy. I'm like, definitely made more. I was probably gonna make more where I was at first, but I just think that I'll be happier like with the stuff I'm doing. Maybe not every day in work, but you know, like I think in the long run, eventually, like, you know, when I go to bed, it's like I'll be happy knowing like what I'm doing is not helping just me, it's helping other people, and I can
It's
grow. And
funny
learn.
how you mentioned about happiness, because you probably know this already. You know how they science do the research and what is happiness, how to activate it. It's funny how you say, you know, I didn't even want to know how much I'm gonna make, because basically, in a nutshell, activating happiness is fulfillment and growth. You know, funny, I'm listening to your story, like what makes him want to take this job, and you're talking about the different step and how you can be. To me, that's growth. And also you mentioned that liking what you do. To me, that's fulfillment. So
Yeah, exactly.
when you have growth, when you have fulfillment, you activate happiness, and when you activate happiness, you activate peacefulness. And when you activate peacefulness, that's when you activate holiness. You know, and you know, we really neglect how our mind work and how the process work and how
I think you
our
hit it
own
on the
nature,
fulfillment thing though
you know?
too, is because like this podcast that you sent me, like that's what he talks about is like, you know, like giving up momentary pleasures for lasting fulfillment. And it's like, that's something that I definitely don't do enough. This guy's talking about being in college, going to sleep at 10 o'clock. Like, you're a nerd, don't do that. No, I'm just kidding. But really, like, the discipline that the guy had to do that, you know what I mean? Like, look, I'm still spending all my money on the weekends. Like, you know, still making horrible decisions all the time. And I know I
you will
should.
learn soon.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's one thing that I'm trying to do exactly is, like, you know what I mean? It's like, give up that momentary pleasure of, like, going out, getting drunk, and spending, like, way more money than I should. Like, you know? Like things like that, it's like, or maybe I shouldn't do constantly. Like those momentary pleasures need to be, you need to sacrifice those momentary pleasures for lasting fulfillment. And that's, I think, like you said, like really what I have been looking for more is like, I definitely have a fun time. I'm definitely, you know, I could say I'm happy in life, like, but I want something, I want to be like, I want to be happier.
And you're right. I want to be happy, but if knowing that the science of it, like I said, I'm a science guy. Knowing that anywhere I go, I look for something, my energy, my thoughts, my work. I look for something, like I joke around with my bosses at work, it's like, give me something that puts fire in my belly, you know? Or give me something that I know I can grow, or whether that's making more money or being more skillful. Give me something, because then I know I will have that happiness. See, the problem, you know, with a lot of us is like, I want to be happy, I want to be happy. But we don't really know what that is. We base that on how we feel, you know, right away. And if you chase that how you feel in this moment where everything in your life is not going towards what you want, you're gonna just chase that. And it's almost like a drug.
That's
You're
what I'm
not
saying,
gonna know
exactly.
that.
Like that
But
momentary pleasure.
yes.
It's like we have that moments where I'm happy, and those moments that
Yeah.
you're like, you know, the things you do are pleasurable and things like that. But it's like
Yeah.
there's that lasting fulfillment that's like missing.
Well,
It's
you know,
like
some
what I'm
people
doing.
call it
It's like-
joyousness, you know, joyful. But, you know, and that's what I try to focus on. I want to be fulfilled, or I want to grow. So, is this something that's going to make me learn, make me grow? Money, relationship, whatever that is. Is this something that's I'm going to be fulfilled? Then I know happiness is a given. You know, I know I'm gonna be happy. You know, in this relationship, like in my marriage relationship, you know, we have come to the idea and agreed to an idea that we're not there to make each other happy. Like we joke around, it's like I joke around with people. It's like if my wife wakes up in the morning and looks at me and say, "Oh, Jasper, I'm not happy." Well, that's your problem. You know, like we joke like I can't make you do that, but what makes our relationship strong is when we have growth and we're fulfilled. So what am I talking about? How does that look like? It looks like, well, are we growing to be able to have more money to sustain our family, to put them to college, and are we growing our adventures, you know, like trips that we want to take, and memories we want to make, you know, are we going to be fulfilled? And then I know happiness is right there. You know, that's the clarity of happiness, you know. But you know, when it's like I just want to be happy. Okay, what is that? You know, my daughter, my 15-year-old daughter, is like, "Yeah, Dad, I just want to be happy." It's like, what is that? You know, well, you know how you feel. You're laughing and stuff like that. You know, so I want her to have the understanding that yeah, there'll be times too that your happiness could be like as a form of kind of peace. You know.
Yeah.
You know that you know that kind of stuff.
I'm like a big believer in that happiness comes in waves, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that there's no way to be happy 24/7 because then you wouldn't know what happy
It's
was.
just not normal.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no such thing as that because, like,
Yeah.
there is no happiness without sadness.
Sure.
You know, I
I believe
relate
that.
a lot of things to rap. Like, 50 Cent line. Sunny days wouldn't be beautiful if it wasn't for rain.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's just like, that's gotta be easy because life is hard. Like, that's what he says. Like, you know, like, what, and then there's, you know, like, that's just, I really believe that, like, if there would be no happiness without pain type thing, you know? If you don't know pain, and you don't know suffering, and you don't know hard times, then you don't know what happiness is really like.
No contrast there, right?
So I think, like, everybody has to struggle, everybody has to fail. You just gotta figure out what it is that's gonna make you happy. And that's what I've been trying to figure out myself, you know what I mean? Like I said, like, I knew I wasn't really gonna be happy at my job. Like, it was cool, it was fun. It wasn't even fun. I'd work with old ladies all day, like, it was a boring job. Like, I had kind of fun with, like, the people who would come in and buy houses sometimes, but boring.
That's probably why it was fun in some way because it wasn't super stressful.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
that's probably why it was somewhat like okay.
That was what was kind of nice about it at first, but then it was like,
Because I remember
me-
you telling us last time that you kind of were just there. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, that was what was great about it at first, but there was like, again, like, just thinking, and after, like, yeah, telling you guys that, and, like, just thinking about all this stuff, like, it's like really made me think, like, that's not why I signed up for real estate. That's not why I wouldn't have got my real estate license, was to be working a mundane job. I got it because, like, I wanted that little bit of stress. I wanted to be, you know what I mean, to be working 24/7. Like the real reason why I got into real estate is because I grew up around it, like, my whole life. Like, my mom was a mortgage broker, like, growing up. My sister's a realtor. Like, it was always just something that I felt like, you know, I'm gonna do. Like I loved it. My mom was self-employed. My mom had her own office, owned her own coffee, like, made good money, like, you know, was doing her thing, and she was the busiest lady that I ever known. Like, my biggest role models in my life are my sister and my mom, because I don't know two harder working people at all, and, like, the hardest working women ever. Like, my mom had my sister when she was 16. Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have a beautiful home. Like there's not many people who could say that. Like, you know, who had kid when they were on Roselawn. I told you guys where my grandma lives. You know what I mean? On the west side over there. Grew up in the hood. Like, they had kid in high school, and
Damn.
like, my mom owns
I used to live
properties,
there.
multiple things.
Paradise.
So exactly. So it's like, you know, like.
I still live there.
You still live there?
Yeah.
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 I used to live in airport.
Yeah, see, so it's just like, and I've, like, myself, I didn't see it as much because, like, when I was born, my mom was already starting to, you know, move up and things like that, but, like, I do remember moving a lot. I moved multiple houses, and that's one of the things I remember as a kid growing up is, like, as, like, we moved, our houses got bigger. Like, it was just cool. Like, I just literally saw my mom's progression,
That
you know what I mean?
shows her effort. The more
Exactly.
she tried, the bigger the houses got,
Literally,
the better the houses
exactly,
got.
like, you know
It
what I mean?
reflected
That's
that.
why I always think, like, you know, like, that's why, again, my mom was my biggest role model and stuff like that, and, like, that was the reason why I always thought that I was going to get into real estate, was because I loved it. That you're an independent contractor, like, you are self-employed, and that's one thing that I wanted in the job is, like, freedom, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like going on 9 to 5 and stuff like that.
Your
Like,
mom's still doing that?
no, right now she works at a school. Like, after 2008, like, you know, like, a lot of
When
things
they
happened.
crash?
Yeah, and so she started working at a school to, you know, get a pension. So, like, so when she retires, she's boom. But she just got her license again, and she wants to start doing this because she's worked at the school now for, you know, 10 years. So she's like, boom, gonna be there. I think she has a couple more years, and she's got her pension all
family's
built
in the
up
right
and
track,
stuff like
man.
that. Yeah, exactly. Like, so that I thank my mom again, like, for everything, like, all the hard working, like, effort and the hard work, like, spirit that, like, I've got, and, like, the lessons that I've learned is because, again, it didn't come easy. My mom didn't go to college and stuff like that. My mom figured it out, like,
Had a kid.
exactly. They had a kid, and they always tell me about, like, you know, they moved. My dad was literally telling me, he's like, I had $150, and he's like, I moved to Arizona. He's like, I left your mom at your grandma's, like, you know, with Elizabeth, my sister, and, like, you know, it's like, I figured it out. I got a spot. They moved out a month later, and boom, like, just built from there and shit. It's like, damn, like, $150 moved out to Arizona. It's like, damn, like, He's like, I'm just gonna figure it out and shit like that. You know what I mean? But then it's like, I don't know. I can go into my whole family issues and stuff like that forever, but I'm not gonna talk about that. But
It's a good story to look back on.
yeah, exactly. Like it's like I'm saying, like my mom's my biggest role model for that reason, and the real reason why I got into real estate is because I like the freedom of it, and the job that I was working before didn't allow me that freedom. I was working, like I told you guys, like a retail real estate job. Like it was cool. It was super comfortable at first. I really liked it at first for these first like 3-4 months, and it was great. I thought I was gonna make more money too. That was great, but after I really just evaluated everything, I was like, that's not why I got my license. That's not what I want to do. It's like I want to do more.
So I have a personal question. Years and years from now, are you aiming to be just some kind of broker agent? Are you planning to be like some kind of investor?
No, yeah, that's more than anything. I want to own real estate. Like that's what I always tell people.
You want to
is,
be like investor?
Yeah, like I never want to like.
So
I don't
where
want to
you
be a
go,
realtor for
yeah.
the rest of my life.
You're
Like I
the guy that
definitely.
I'll be calling.
Yeah, I definitely want to be a top producer for at one point though. You know, like that's why I got my real estate license. I'm super competitive. Like
Yeah.
I like to win. I want to be
So
like
where
I
you
see
going,
these
man?
top producers like and they're hella busy and they make a lot of money though, and it's like again like I was talking about my sister too. Like she's a super busy realtor in the Bay Area. She won Rookie of the Year in the East Bay. Like Rookie of the Year, like you know how saturated the real estate market is. You know how many people have real estate license? You know how hard that is? Like my sister's owned multiple businesses. My sister's failed at a ton of different things. Like I obviously like grew up without my sister around. Like my sister was 18 years old when I was born. Like my sister's way older than me.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why like after like when I was born, like my parents were like already starting to boom. So my sister really saw it. That's why my sister and my mom are like best friends. Like they grew up together. It seems like, you know, like my sister saw everything that my family's been through. I'm super close with my sister, so you know my sister shared all that stuff with me and everything, and it's just crazy. And like I was saying though, my sister's my biggest role model because she's done so much. Like it's crazy to think like again, no college education. When she was 18 years old, like I didn't even know my sister. She wasn't living in the house. She moved out to Italy or somewhere overseas and stuff like that, and was just like backpacking and traveling and doing all sorts of crazy stuff and like figuring it out. And then she moved to Alaska, I remember, for a little bit, and I was like, why would you ever move to Alaska? And she's like, I just wanted to be able to tell people I lived in the last frontier. Like, what the hell? Like, you're a weirdo. I remember she would literally mail us like
Nice.
what's that? Dry ice boxes of like fishes and fish and stuff, like crazy. She has this picture of her like cutting this fish. She's climbed fucking Half Dome at Yosemite. Like, who the fuck has done this stuff, man? Like, it's crazy. All this stuff. That's sick. But like all the stuff that my sister's done, it's like I'm just like, damn.
Wait,
somebody
she
else-
climbed mount, like rock climbed it?
Yeah, like climb.
Dude,
Like I
that's
don't know.
my goal right
Yeah,
there.
like
Wait, she rock climbed the face of Half Dome?
I'll have to double check with her. I have to double
Okay.
check with her.
I was
but-
like, damn, that's gnarly.
Yeah,
dude.
that-
People
like,
outside
that's
doing
like
that
a
shit.
straight-
Yeah,
Right.
she's like
Like-
climbed that shit though and stuff, and like it's like I'm telling you, my sister's done so much. Like
Very adventurous, huh?
yeah, and she's like owned multiple businesses. Like I remember she started this business like off of like beer bottles, was just taking like the labels off of beer bottles and laminating them, and then ended up getting like the licenses from the beer companies and was putting them like on a bracelet, on a leather bracelet. And she was in like she had a boutique for a minute. Like she lived down south. Like I remember she was in LA selling clothes out of her, the back of her car for a minute. And then she was able to open up a boutique in the mall. And then she made her own little bracelets and stuff like that. And she sold one to like Tommy Lee Jones, like the drummer for fucking Motley Crue, and he was like wore it in like some MTV music video. She sold some to like those one guys who see Bowling for Soup. She sold them bracelets, like little shit. Like again, did not become like millionaire, did not make a fortune off this. She was still living in a tiny little apartment in LA and stuff, but like she was
She
just
made the moves. to
exactly,
just do
and she was just
something.
doing her thing, like running her businesses. And then like I moved out to San Diego with my sister actually originally, and then she had like a promotional company business, so like like pens that have your company's name on it and stuff like that. And she was just doing that, like basically just a middleman. She would buy these super cheap things like pens and water bottles and whatever from like Alibaba from China and get them for super cheap.
She's an
And then,
entrepreneur, huh?
boom, yeah, super, exactly. And then it's like, boom, she was able to sell that business successfully, and then she moved out to the East Bay and fucking, like I
And she had
said,
a Shopify business that
Yeah.
she sold?
it wasn't like Shopify, it was like, I don't know, it was just like literally just her own company. She was in like the Green Chamber of Commerce in San Diego. Like I remember like the room that she let me live in, like was like her fucking trophy room. It just had all these awards and trophies and everything like that. Like my sister just like, you know, like a huge hustler. Like I don't know anybody who works harder than that lady. Like the other day when I was with her, I helped her with like an open house actually, and I saw her phone calendar. It's like so packed. Like literally every day has so many events. I'm like, damn, I'm just trying to get to this point. Like, you know. And like I was talking about my mom, really like the hardest working lady. I remember she would come home from work. It's like, you know, after working from fucking 7 to 6, and then it's like, oh, my mom's here. I can see her pull up, be chilling inside. Like 30 minutes would go by, an hour would go by. Like I have to go out there. Like, Mom, are you coming in? She's on the phone, still working, like nonstop. Like what the hell is crazy? And it's like, at one point, I just want to be that successful. I want to be that busy, like, you know what I mean, with my real estate career. Maybe not at this point in my life, because I thought that's what I wanted to do for a minute, but again, like I think I want to do this at some point. What?
Some point, you like your sister and your mom,
What gonna?
like to be successful or their structure.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I want to do.
Man,
know,
then why are you
eventually.
waiting? You got 2 good mentors already.
I know.
That's
You already have the mentor there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems that way.
You should come over here.
That's what I
I mean,
thought.
are you ashamed? Is it? I don't know. Is it because you know you don't want to just kind of think to yourself that it got handed me down to me my
No,
success?
that's the thing. It's not though. It's not like.
Oh
like
man, what are
it
you waiting
seems that
for?
way,
You
and
got those 2 strong mentors.
I know it really seems that way a lot of the times. Like my mom, you know, she does not doing that. She had her own little issue and stuff like that that she had to deal with and stuff like. But she's getting back into it, and I think like you know, eventually we want to do that. Is like start like, you know, like a little family business where my mom's the mortgage broker and my sister's a realtor and I can be a realtor. But that's, you know, a little bit down the line. Like actually one of the biggest reasons why I moved back to Modesto from San Diego was because of that. Like they convinced me to move back, and for like the first year I was so like upset that I listened to them. Like I was literally like so upset, like damn, like my whole life had just got fucked up. Like I was doing way more in life, but everything happens for reasons. Like I'm a big believer of that. But for a minute, like I was just dwelling on the past for like literally for the longest time, like just like damn, I miss San Diego, damn, I miss my life.
San Diego's
Exactly,
nice,
it's
though.
horrible.
I would say my
Nice,
biggest
though.
issue is bullying and anxiety. So
Yeah.
that's one of them.
Like so, like yeah, dwelling on stuff is horrible because like literally there was, instead of making my life better and being like, look, this is your situation, you gotta fix it. If you want to go back, then you gotta do what you gotta do. I was for like a year, I was literally just like.
Just moping around.
Yeah, like fucking hate this. Like I was making so much more money, blah blah. Like I spent all my time, you know what I mean? Like this and that. Like I came here because I thought I was gonna make more money, and I'm not making shit and this and that. But it's like again, because like I just thought it was gonna happen. Like I just thought it was gonna happen. I thought my sister just won Rookie of the Year. She's got to be super busy. Not at all. Like she just barely started getting busy. She's been doing real estate now for like 5 years. She got Rookie of the Year because she was super. Because compared to a lot of first year agents, she killed it. You know what I mean? Like, and then after that, I remember times where she wasn't selling shit and stuff like that. Like real estate's not an easy thing to do, but
No.
it takes time, and you know, and that's the thing. Really, is when I moved here, I thought that I was kind of gonna get handed some shit, and like I don't have a problem with that, honestly. Like, you want to hand some, I'll go take it.
But you can get their habits and their mindset and their connection. And
Yeah,
all that
exactly.
stuff.
And I think the problem was that like working with my sister, like again, we're really close, but working together is like a whole different thing. Like again, my sister's 18 years older than me, and she treats me like more of a mom than my mom does. You know, like
You have a problem with that one?
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying. Like you know, like trying to do my own thing and getting treated like a child. But not only that, it's like my sister wasn't at the point to where she could really help me out at that point when I first got here. And then again, like with that little friction between us two, it was like I'm just gonna go off and do my own thing. And I did my own thing for a minute. I worked at Berkshire Hathaway here in Modesto. I got out the sale in Turlock. Like had a listing over there, like little stuff, like you know. But then didn't do like you know. I'm obviously not doing.
You're
that
in the right
anymore.
track, man. Real
I mean,
estate is the
it
right
sounds
track.
that way. It sounds that way. I promise, but it's not. It's like I'm not all the time. You know, it seems that way, and I hope I'm going the right direction. But
Well, as far as industry, you're in the right track. I mean, you listen to, I'm sure you know Grant Cardone.
of course, yeah. I listen
You know,
to Grant
I
Cardone.
think my generation, which I'm an X generation, I lost 3 houses in 2008. I didn't know what I was doing, over leveraging, you
Yeah.
know, the pick up pay loan, the
Mhm.
variable rates. And pretty much X generation is burned out. I mean, most of us who lost houses in 2007, 2008 don't want to buy a house, you know? The millennials, later and later. They settle later and later. So I think, you know, America is gonna be the next decade or so will be a renter, you know, nation, kind of like, you know.
I don't know, because millennials are buying homes right now, and they're buying not starter homes. They're buying.
They're buying
buying
condos and
homes.
stuff.
It's all things available at the moment too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right now,
well-
they're not building starter homes anymore.
Yeah, exactly. They're building.
So what's
like,
your biggest
decent-sized
clientele?
homes.
Millennials right now?
What?
In this area?
In this
Like,
area? Well, right now I'm not even doing real estate in this area. I was doing real estate in Sacramento for a little bit in Elk Grove. Because like I'm saying, I was doing residential real estate, like resale. But, like I
What's
had...
the biggest demographic that's buying homes right now?
Where I'm at?
Or in your experience, like when you were in San Diego?
Well, like in San Diego I wasn't doing too much, but I know that like in Elk Grove, a lot of first-time home buyers in Elk Grove. From Elk Grove. Like, that was really cool to see. A lot of people from the community.
And those are millennial categories?
Millennials, a little bit older, like again, just first time home buyers, they go anywhere from like, I saw people as young as like 25, and people, you know, were retired. And so it's hard to say, like, I was doing new home sales though. So I was doing like, you know, like the builders, like over here, how we see like over here, like I was working in a model home and selling to them and things. But, so it was hard to say, like, you know, but really what you see a lot in Northern California, you see out of the country money. You see some cash buyers, but you see a lot of Chinese and a lot of Indian, like a lot of Chinese money coming straight from China.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of international buyers, and especially because, you know, we have such a booming tech industry and everything like that up here, and with the way the real estate market is in the Bay Area, it's ridiculous. It's people who make great money sometimes can't even afford to put a down payment on a home.
Yeah.
So it's like you see them starting to move a little bit further east, and that's why we're seeing markets like Manteca and Tracy and Elk Grove and Sacramento blow up the way that they are right now
The
because
driving force is still the interest rate? It's just
well, the interest
still,
rate
or
is
going up a little bit?
interest rate is definitely rising because people can now afford it. So what they did with the interest rate after 2008 is they lowered it so much to help people.
Yeah.
But now they're unwinding what they were doing because again people now have.
You think
the means
they'll
and the
put it
funds.
back down again, or that's just gonna go up from?
It's gonna go up. It's not gonna like as long as the economy and the market keeps going up, the interest rate's gonna keep going up too. They're not gonna bring it down until people need help. That's why they brought it down. It's because people needed it. You know what I mean? And now that people don't need it as much, we're seeing it rise all the
So the
time.
time of buys right now then.
Yeah.
That's the case before it gets worse.
Exactly, and like even like I was saying, like when I was doing new home sales, like people were building instant equity. Like we sold to people houses at like $412,000. 3 months later, that house is worth $430,000.
See, my uncle just bought a house over there in Rockland. He
Yeah.
bought it for $400,000. And next, following like few months, it went up to $500,000.
Exactly.
Immediately,
Boom.
$300,000. It's crazy.
Boom.
I mean,
Yeah.
for me as a regular person that's, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, mine was more like I'm looking cash flow to my house. When I found out I can get 3% fixed rate, it dictates how much I only have to pay monthly. That was strong driver enough.
Yeah, for sure.
You know that it's like freaking what, $80 difference for my rent, and then I can get a house. You know.
Yeah.
So that was, you know, a big driver. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
But you wouldn't know that though unless this kind of stuff, because you know my family that lost houses too, they don't even look at into buying houses when it was just too painful for them, you know, when they lost that house. Me, it's like, no, I'm not giving up, you know. Now I'm awakened even more. Now I want to learn, you know, and that's how I got my 3% through Streamline.
Okay.
I didn't know that there's such thing that exists. After I buy a home, that I can refinance it in 6 months, and not changing I didn't know that, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, well, anyway, I don't know if it relates to you guys, but you know that kind of stuff. I mean, it's still important because you know we live food, clothing, and shelter. So real estate really is one of the basic. You know,
like
that-
real
It's a
estate
big part.
again. Yeah, it's like what I was telling these people. I'm just gonna keep talking about my interview today, guys. What I was telling people at the interview is like they're like again like what's your biggest goal and stuff like that. You know, it's like I want. Actually, I read this like in a tweet or some shit like that. He was like, I was like, I want my kids to have like wealthy people problems. It's like I want them to fight over their
Yes.
inheritance or some shit like that. And I was like,
Over their inheritance.
yeah, like that's what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to be able to leave some shit. Like that's the real reason why I believe in real estate more than anything. Is like it's a foundational step to building generational wealth.
Yeah.
Like you know, I want to be able
Hit
to
it,
leave
that's
a
what I
house to
meant.
somebody else.
Generational wealth,
Exactly.
yes.
Like maybe I'm not wealthy, but like I want to at least help my kids or whoever the hell I do decide to leave that house to behind. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like. So it's like I don't know. That's why I really believe in real estate. So I want to sell that stuff eventually, but right now I'm working with nonprofits now. I guess. So see how that happens. See where that goes, and hopefully in a year from now I'm super happy and I have progressed and I get to open my own office or some shit like that. Because what's really cool, the real thing that really sold it to me was like when they talked about like the people who become partners and things like that, like. They're entrepreneurs, they were saying, like, you know what I mean? You don't have to show up to the office and things like that once you're a partner. Like, you have your own time and you learn how to delegate your tasks properly, and you know what I mean? You definitely still have to put in the work and stuff like that, but you don't have to be there, like, 24/7, which is, like, cool. Like, right now, I'm definitely have to be there 24/7 for, like, at least the next year. But, you know, we'll see what happens. But, yeah.
I'm interested in that. You talk about the laptop lifestyle, man. See,
Oh, yeah.
my issue is I'm not technologically savvy, so I'm trying to relearn that kind of skill.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know? I think it's you know, it's there for the taking.
Oh, for sure. Like you were saying earlier, like it's all even ground now. You know what I mean? Like, and again, like I was listening to Gary Vee and he's talking about it. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like, you may not have the talent for it though, but that's where you got to figure out. Like, you gotta find your lane. Like he was talking about, I forget what artist, but this artist, you know, he was trying to be an artist for a little bit. And he was doing all right. He got like a following and stuff like that. But he always knew that he wasn't gonna be like, he wasn't gonna make that next step because he just didn't have the talent. So he stepped back and he became like a manager and stuff like that because he knew how to operate.
Leverage.
Exactly, and he knew what his skill set was. And it's like once you figure that out and you learn how to stay in your lane, and you know what I mean. You don't try to do too much. You don't try to do too little. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. You're happy. But really, what I was gonna say is again, like that podcast you sent me. Literally, this podcast this guy sent me like hyped me up so much. Like I haven't known how to do it like that.
It was a really good podcast.
Which podcast was this?
It's the podcast name is Knowledge for Man, and he interviewed this guy.
Jared something, but this guy was like
Jared
living
Robbins.
my fucking dream
Jared
life.
Robbins?
Yeah, Jared
So
Robbins.
he's at 23. He was making $100,000 a year or something like that.
23 or
and,
24.
living on the beach, and he like started his own
25 years
coaching
old, bro.
business.
This guy's working 30 hours a month. A fucking month.
So
Living on the
his
beach.
making
business
out.
is the internet.
Yeah, it's internet based, and it's coaching. It's
Lifestyle coaching. But the thing was, again, like this guy, he grew up in it. Like his dad.
yeah, his
owned-
dad had this shit
His
going.
dad had a
Everything
big,
about it,
successful business. Like, you know, and so he was already had like this mindset and was, again, like that was the guy who I said who was 20 years old, fucking sleeping at 10 o'clock.
What did he like at 13? He like read hella book. Like he.
Yeah, like
That
so
was-
he had it and then he
Yeah,
learned
so
how to
his mind is
execute.
right to begin
Yeah, from the,
with.
he was
Yeah.
born with the right mind, you know.
Like he was,
But
yeah, he was molded.
whether you're born with it or not, you can still develop that, you know.
Yeah, it's just-
not.
it's not-
and I'm not saying like,
Yeah.
oh, you know,
No,
it's not possible for us. Like,
No,
no.
no, no. My biggest thing is the only reason why it didn't happen for me at 25 and it's gonna happen to me at like 30 is because it's because again this guy, you know, he had these things molded at that age, and I think everybody has their own timing in life. Like I don't know if I told you guys about that. That guy was a bus driver for 60 years, and then he became successful after. Like I met this guy who was a bus driver his whole life. After he showed me he was driving a fucking Bentley in this iced out Breitling
Yeah.
watch, like 60 years old. He didn't know he was gonna do that. He thought he was gonna retire a bus driver type thing. He probably thought he had like 3 more years working. You know what I mean? Like
Well, you guys just mentioned it. Really, the key factor of success. You know, you said he had the right mind, and his father was in there. So that's the environment. Then all he had to do is know the right action to take. So it really, in a nutshell, is the same formula.
But no, he didn't. I think he didn't know the right action. He just went and started taking action. You know, he doesn't. I don't think you ever know the truly right action.
But he had some kind of foundation because his dad was in the business.
I think. Well, yeah. At one point, he was like, he went to the
Yeah.
business and he was
That
doing
helps a
thing.
lot.
Yeah,
He's like,
that
for
does
sure.
help.
He was working for
If
like
you're
a what do
willing
you call
to
it?
accept.
Yeah,
A
that's
non-profit
right.
organization.
oh yeah, that's actually exactly what he said. He was working for a non-profit.
And he's like, I want to make money too. I'm
Yeah.
helping all these people. I want to make money too.
Yeah.
So we went across the street to the coaching business, and he was like,
for-profit.
"What do you guys do?" And he's like, "Okay, I want to do this." And then you know, he started taking action towards that, and then eventually he's like, you know what,
They
I
gave
think I
it-
want to make my own business.
But
doing
not
this.
only that, they gave him a shot, right? That's what I remember. They gave him a shot, and then he killed it, and he was like one of the top people doing it. Like, you know what I mean? And he's like, well, damn, I'm doing such a good job. Like,
Yeah.
he was talking about he was coaching, like, he was taking classes in college, and he was coaching his teachers. Like, you know, like.
A psychology teacher.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, this guy's going to class to learn from this guy, and then that guy's going to his class to learn from him. Like, you know, that's sick. Like, and then he's talking about being 25, living on the fucking beach, working 30 hours a month. I was like, in Mission Beach, I love Mission Beach.
Making $100,000 a year, bro.
Yeah, dude. Like,
I mean, it's possible. That's what I'm trying to study right now.
for sure, it's just
You
like.
know, I mean, they're hiring VAs. You know, the virtual assistant from India, from Philippines. It's like $2-3 an hour. You know, and basically you teach them how to run the business. So of course you still need to monitor and stuff.
No, exactly.
Like that.
Like, yeah, that's the thing too. Is
You know, I want to learn that space. You know, Robert Kiyosaki used to say like, well, there's, you know, traditionally 3 ways to make money, right? Knowing our human needs: food, clothing, and shelter. Which industry you want? But now there's one thing that's added: the internet. So you know, explore. You know.
I think we've all gotten benefits from the internet.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh.
Knowledge, being aware of things.
Yeah. I love
People
it.
learn how to. Cars, you show people cars. It's like,
Oh yeah.
it's crazy. You don't know where a restaurant is? Google it.
Yeah, exactly. Or you're having an argument with somebody, like, no, we're
I
about
don't
to
know
settle
this
this
fact.
right now.
So,
Yeah.
yes, like you pull it out for
Yeah,
everything. It's
that's
pretty
so
cool.
Wondering is an old
Exactly.
concept.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist anymore. You don't
Like,
wonder.
that's why, like, encyclopedias are fucking garbage. You know? And I literally always thought this, and I just saw it on the internet the other day, but literally always thought this, like, once they start coming out the phones, was that,
Don't worry, it's just a broken sport. That's scared me about a broken phone or something.
I remember when Encyclopedia Britannica came out. It's like only rich people can afford it. Where it come from?
But now it's like everybody
You know?
has a computer in their
It's like-
pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not, yeah.
I just remember though, like my 4th grade teacher, whoever the hell taught me multiplications, was like, "You're not gonna have a calculator in your pocket all the time, Raymond." Like, yeah, I do now, Mr. Raspo.
Yeah, when-
Mr. Red.
you know?
That's the thing too. Like, it's all, the internet's only been here for 20 years. You know, it's still hella young. It's like stupid young.
For sure, for sure.
That's
Whoa.
why you see all these.
It's like
successful
30 years
people
now.
from
Yeah.
That's crazy, 'cause
websites,
we're almost in 2020.
Amazon, everything.
We need,
know,
we
it's
need to
like-
be on the freaking internet and taking advantage of it.
For
'Cause
sure.
by 30 years from now, it's gonna be at a whole other level.
Although
I think
we-
Gary Vee say like, dude, everything's gonna be virtual reality.
Oh, it
It's
is.
gonna be
It will.
contacts.
It's gonna be contact
That's
lenses,
what I think
computer
is gonna be
lenses,
the
and, like,
next big thing.
AR.
Like,
augmented
Actually, the
reality.
internet now is right now where we stand is actually equal to real world. I mean, people talk about you're in politics. People talk about, oh, we're so afraid of nuclear war. You know, the real battle and war that's made right now is through the internet. I mean, you can wipe out more people if you destroy
Oh yeah,
the
we're,
web
we're seeing
than
it
a
too.
nuclear
We're seeing
weapon.
it happen in our country. Is
Yeah.
that we're seeing these countries that are super low budget, that are using the internet to infiltrate our people's beliefs and things like
Yeah.
that, because they know that countries like us who have had, you know, super militarized things and stuff like that, and have big spending budgets and stuff like that, like the way that we destabilize a government is a little bit different than the way these low budget like ways. They have literally camps of hackers fucking sending shit and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like North Korea, that's all they like.
Making
They're
memes.
what's important to them is making memes. In Russia, they have these fucking camps of hackers and stuff like that. But what's important to North Koreans is being like a hacker. Like that's the highest class thing you can be over there. They don't care about like celebrities and shit like that like we do over here. They care about
in North Korea.
yeah.
I mean, that's how they level the playing field, is to be in the
Exactly.
internet.
Exactly, because they
You know?
understand that you
It's
can
not, it's not
does.
muscle
you can
anymore.
destabilize stuff.
It's not
like,
muscle
people
anymore.
don't get their news from any trusted news sources nowadays. You know what I mean? It's like, literally, I was hanging out with Terrence today, and he's talking to me about some anti-vaccine shit that he read on Instagram. I'm like, bro, give me a more fucking, a better base,
critical
like, yeah,
source.
like, you know what I
Reliable
mean?
source.
Exactly, more reliable source. Don't give me some fucking Instagram meme, and like, you know, we'll talk. But right now, I don't give a fuck about what you're saying, because that's bullshit. Like, it's Instagram meme. Bring it to me in an article, I'll read it. That's it. If you read me an Instagram meme, don't tell me that's news. Like, you know, that's how people get their news nowadays. And people reach out on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, have you seen the one on like tilapia? Have you
No.
seen those? Okay, well, there's one on tilapia, so.
What is this?
Yeah. It's
Wow,
just, it's
tilapia
just like
is-
shortened.
Yeah.
And it just states that it's like not a real fish, it's bad for you, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, I don't get it. I don't care if it's actually bad for you, if it's a real fish,
You
if
like
it's
it?
not.
Yeah.
Why is this a meme? Why is there no link?
Exactly
Like
right.
that's what I'm concerned for. Rather than, but then people are like, oh, it says tilapia is
And then
bad,
they go-
don't eat it. And I'm like,
And they circulate that stuff.
do you know?
They
Yeah,
don't
that's my
source
point.
it.
Is I'm like,
Yeah,
do we
exactly.
really
Well, we
know
got
that?
knowledge overload.
You have
you
no
know?
source.
Exactly.
People just like to take things little by little and put
Yeah,
it out.
put all
It's easier.
excerpts in. Yeah,
It's-
exactly. Take things out of
That's crazy.
context and
You
they
know?
put it out there, and then then you
And
get your
it's
agenda out
reality.
there, and then people exactly, and then it becomes reality to some people, and then it's like, nope, that's real. I read it on the internet. Where on the
Oh.
internet? Where on the
It's gonna be
internet?
altered very easily.
So I take that as a
Example,
lesson.
Photoshop.
So if that's our human nature now, then I'm gonna create that reality for me.
Yeah, well, that's what
So that's how I do it now.
I believe
you
in
know?
that too. Is
Damn, so yeah, use the and leverage it for yourself.
you know, with my
Is that what it
Buddhist background, I also have Buddhist background, and you know, the premise of the philosophy, it's like life moves like a water. You know, the water is the most powerful element. It will take in any shape, but you can never contain it. You know, if you freeze the water, it will break in any kind of container you'll put it. You know, eventually. So you know, so I don't really listen to news. If I do hear something, I take it whatever I can get out of it. Like, I'll give you a personal example. My second son eloped from us, you know, ran away. And I took that as a blessing, man. Because if he didn't do that, I would never knew how homeschool is. There's a charter homeschool. I never knew that my teenagers can graduate high school with already an AA degree paid by the government. Because if you homeschool them, they're actually in a different structure. You know, I never knew all that possibility. I never knew they'll give us free laptops, you know? That kind of, because of all his action, you know? So I do it like that, you know? I take it like, oh, you know, we think that way now? Or maybe let me use it to my advantage, you know? So, anyway, that's
How old is he?
the one that, he's 16. You know?
Damn.
So he eloped at 16.
Yeah, you know, like, it's just out of
No,
nowhere.
because
you know,
my brother just did that.
You
I
know,
got
So
No. He was just hanging out with bad friends and stuff like that. And
crazy.
I learned how law enforcement works, you know, and
What?
you know, so they don't really help you, you know. I thought they will. So that was a good knowledge, you know. I'm gonna get into the detail, but you know, that kind of stuff. So
The more you know,
that was
That's really true.
yeah, that was a healthy thing, man. I mean, you know, I'm thinking, you know, you're gonna. It kind of pulls me back, and I tell this to my wife, you know, like, don't even. And I tell this
Does
to my
she
kids.
stress about that? Or?
Oh yeah, she does.
I-
Because
I-
she
I-
stays home with them, but you know, like it goes back to where, you know, if I tell the kids, you know, someday there are gonna be beliefs and lifestyle you're gonna do that I'm not even gonna be in agreement with it, but don't even let me, not even me, your dad, take away your happiness. And I will tell you right now, you're not taking away my happiness.
That reminds me of that,
It's
like in that movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, with Will Smith. Have you guys seen that?
Movie's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Right, and then
Tell us that, bro.
yeah, based on a true story, that guy
Yeah,
becomes
yeah,
successful.
yeah.
It was on Oprah. I
Yeah.
saw that.
yeah.
Anyways, there's that one scene where Jaden Smith is like, he's like, I want to be a basketball star, and then he just like shits on his dream completely, like, you'll never be a basketball star, blah blah, because of genetics. Like, I couldn't be a basketball star. You'll never be a basketball star. And then he's like crying, and then he's like, don't ever let anybody tell you what you can't do or anything like that, or what you can't be. He's like, not even me. And I was like, damn, like, I don't know. It's like that.
It's true.
Yeah, like, you know, because sometimes, yeah, like
Your
parents
parents
will show you
have
something.
different opinions and, like
Yeah.
you said, different lifestyles. And
Mm-hmm. And that's why it's like, yeah, you can't, like, sometimes you just can't listen to what anybody thinks.
I mean, you know, like, it's experience, right? So, I think that the problem with our society is you want me also to agree with you. We don't have to agree with each other, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
We just have to give that respect that that's the lifestyle we choose. But it does not necessarily mean that you want me to agree, because you really, I will tell you, you're missing out. Because if you want me to accept you, you're asking permission from me to make yourself happy. And I tell you, where your right stops is where my rights begin. So I'm in a point with my life where if someone do me wrong, apology is weak, man. Don't apologize to me because it's done anyway. What I ask for is respect. You know, to apologize is weak. You know, it's done anyway. So redeem yourself and give me respect. That's the best way you can pay back if you did someone wrong. You know, and that's probably our problem now with our diversity, that we're so diverse that, oh, now I'm in this philosophy, you really have to agree with me, you know? It's like, well, you don't agree with all my philosophy, you know? Otherwise you'll be just like me, you know? And I think that's our problem right now, you know? America is like fighting against that. We don't have to be agreements.
I think that's
You
true.
know?
We never have to agree. We just
We
have to be
don't,
okay with
you know, like,
respecting each other.
and that it doesn't also mean that I accept it either, you know, but I respect it, you know, and whatever commonality we have, whether we're in business or we're co-worker or whatever that is, that's where the respect should come in, that all of us are in the playing level field, you know.
I think it's starting to get late. I think we should all just hit our goals real quick.
Alright, so what do you guys
Hit our goals real quick.
Okay, so
Yeah,
when we've
it's
done this week kind of goals or like the
You know what? Yeah, let's give like
Yeah.
Derek the floor.
Dude, I feel like you haven't
Is
said
it okay if
I haven't
use
heard Derek say
bathroom?
anything,
Use
huh?
the bathroom
Yes,
close by?
yeah, it's just straight right here, man.
Sipping on that thing.
Let's I don't know, goals
Derek.
that we hit this week.
Hey,
Goals
you
that
too,
wanna
bro.
hit next week.
Yeah, for real. What is my goal?
Yeah.
What do you think goes?
So what goes of the week?
Goals that maybe you did last week and goals you want to hit next week, I guess.
Okay, what did you do this week? How could you have done it better? Or you know, whatever.
Yeah,
Talk about this week and then let's talk about next week.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this week, you know, didn't stick to actual goals. Got, you know, just let the tiredness get to me a little too much. But I mean, the good thing is, you know, you get that fresh start every Monday. You know, so I'd say that this week, I mean, just continue. You know, just trying to get in the gym first thing, whether it's like 5:30, 6 a.m.
That was cool.
And just trying to
rolls are done.
get through that, get through Gary Vee's book. That's all I got.
Sweet.
Okay,
So,
that's enough.
goals right
Yeah.
there.
You know what? You know, read Crushing It?
Yeah, crushing it. Yeah,
Okay, there you go.
try to at least get through half of it.
Nice.
Yeah, just highlight, you know, the main stuff I wanna get through and just kind of speed read in a way, you know.
Not a bad
So gym and book.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you about it on Monday.
And trying to like, also like long term wise, trying to like focus more on getting more like intrinsic value versus extrinsic value, you know, out of things, like picking more proper ways of like spending time, you know. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, that can't. I mean, freaking Jared Robbins was talking about that too. You know, in his podcast.
Yeah.
How that's what he did. You know, throughout the years, he focused on, you know, intrinsic values, and
Oh, that's right.
it's so freaking real.
That's
Dude,
so
like I had
weird.
a.
And I was telling you about that, about the gym. Remember, I did tell you
A
that.
long time ago you said
A
that.
long time ago, how important that is.
Dude, that shit stuck to me, dude. Cause I like I've had a couple friends in the past that were doing that. You know, when we were like in high school,
Doing what?
focusing on intrinsic values. You know,
Really?
like they would want to only like work out when they hung out, for instance, right? Like I had a couple buddies that only like
But
strictly
why,
just wanted to hit the
why
gym,
did they want to
and that's it. And not like I'd be like, oh, you know, let's go drink, let's go do this. You know,
Well, I mean, like the intrinsic value comes through like why were they hitting the gym? Because they wanted to be buff, because they wanted to be healthy.
well,
See,
yeah, I mean,
the
I
buff-
think it's
okay,
a
I
healthy
think-
part. And
I don't
like,
think the
just
buffing.
getting-
Sorry.
Nah, that's all good. You can go if you want.
Go. Sorry, bro.
No, I mean, I think just the healthy part, you know, just to get yourself as strong, you know, just to get themselves as strong as possible. Of course, I mean, that's the reason why we're doing it, you know, just to get to our like most strongest, most like authentic self, you know,
Yeah, no.
like
for
you
sure.
can possibly get to, and
Yeah.
if you don't put in like that consistent time, you know, I mean,
Very
Yeah,
good.
like, well, in
So
regards to like the
happen.
gym, like I would tell clients, you know, like I would help them define like what is it, the intrinsic reward that you're gonna get from coming to the gym day in and day out.
Never asked me this.
And
Just kidding.
I'm just carrying your hand, bro. You know, and then also like, because a lot of people go into it with a lot of extrinsic desires, like I want to lose weight. To me, that's an extrinsic reward of working out. It's not related to the activity of going to the gym and grind. You don't see the result on that day. You know, what you get
Is that
right in that moment is that hella good ass feeling, that the pump that you get, like the endorphins going to your brain. the feeling of accomplishment, you know, like the feeling, the smell of the gym, like the people around you, the vibes. That's you get every single time. And if you focus on getting that, the fat loss comes, the muscle gain comes, the health comes. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, that's
and that's
like
just the gym though. Like
that's
let's
like
talk
the intrinsic stuff.
talking about like you're like, you know, trying to make money or like trying to like level up in your thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like the extrinsic reward would be
The money
being
and
becoming an entrepreneur
Yeah.
in your thing, right? But the intrinsic value is like the process. Like fucking
Exactly.
Gary Vee talks about all the time, bro.
Exactly.
Fall in love with the process.
Yeah.
And that's intrinsic reward right there. And you get it every
Like,
time.
yeah,
bro.
they were asking Gary Vee, like, you work all the time, like, how do you enjoy that? He's like, yeah, I work because I love working. You know what I mean? Once you can find that joy and that love for like what you do and the work, then that's when that intrinsic value, you gain that intrinsic value instead of that intrinsic value, extrinsic. It's not like Gary Vee's like, I love making fucking money. I love having a $200 million fucking media company. Like, I love working. He's like, I give away all this content for free because, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to charge you guys for it. Like,
I think in the fitness industry, I would have to do it all over again. I think, you know, my wife now, I told you a brief moment that she's going through illness right now and diabetes and all that stuff. I think when it comes to fitness though, I think it's more of, you guys talk about intrinsic value, but that intrinsic value is actually defined as emotional state, you know. I think, you know, the journey to fitness is more emotional than physical, you know.
It all is though.
Yeah,
and
that's the
no, it's not
intrinsic
just
value.
fitness, it's everything's like you said, everything's
It's
emotional.
more,
Yeah.
you know.
And that intrinsic
So
reward
if
exactly.
I approach the client as far as it's not just nutrition and exercise, it's
No, it's all up here.
It's really
It's all
like-
up there.
And,
it's
and
the
you're
process.
right, the gym itself and probably your the group itself gives that support, that emotional community support that you guys are there, you know, to do that, and that's probably the key.
sweet. So we got your goals now.
So is that your
Jim?
goal? Is what your goal?
Trying to, I mean, that's like more like a long-term thing, like trying to focus on more, you know, intrinsic, you know, things over
For your
extrinsic,
health?
because, yeah, I mean, just like in the, I mean, just like with anything, you know, it's gonna, I mean, everything takes time, you know, it takes detail, and I feel like if I really start focusing on the intrinsic stuff, like over time, like I give it like 5-6 years, I'm gonna be a whole different,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a whole different freaking person. You
I
know?
think what helps is that why. Like, you gotta figure out that
Oh
why.
yeah, your why gonna make you
Yeah.
cry, right?
And then
Your why is gonna make you
Yes.
cry.
remember the
Dude,
guy.
just to be like the most, like get myself to be like the most freaking like strongest, you know, best self I can get to. That, I mean, that's the
Yeah.
why right there. Like you know, that's what I want. You know, I want to
No, but why do
just
you want
feel,
that?
Why do you
just
want
feel,
that?
feel good, feel
Why do
good.
you want
Oh,
it?
you know,
Why-
long
why?
term, be able to like
Why though?
help other people.
There's always a why.
That's why.
Like, why do you want to feel
Nah,
good?
bro,
Like,
it's
for
gotta be
me,
deeper than that,
Have you
bro.
felt bad before?
I want to see you cry
Why
right
do you
now.
want to feel good?
Don't tell me just cause like I want to do that too.
Like,
Until
okay,
tears
I
are
will
rolling
give you
down.
straight up, man. 'Cause I go to different men's club, and a lot of them are bigger than me and more brutal, more blunt. And I tell you why. You know, aren't you sick and tired of going to the beach, taking off your shirt, and not as best shape as you want? You know, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Or you know, I don't know if you're single
It's like-
or you're married. You know, like to attract the woman that of your dreams, that kind of stuff.
That's a horrible reason to work out.
There's no shame on that.
Saying.
There's
Those
no,
people
there's
don't
no,
last in the gym.
there's no shame in to say that. Whatever the chip that
That's
you must,
extrinsic
you
right
know?
there.
Exactly.
That's
That's a
short
perfect example of an
term.
extrinsic reward that
Yeah,
a lot of people
that
go to. My boy, one of my best friends, I'm not gonna say his name, but because
Say it. No, just like, don't say it.
never mind, I'm not gonna say that.
Don't
shit.
even say it.
That's fucking.
Alright, next we're going to Alex.
Oh, okay.
So tell us about your week, man.
Tell us about your week, your goals.
So my short-term goals this week.
Wait, I want to know what you did last week, though.
Huh?
I want to know how
No,
you
I'm
did
saying
last
what
week.
you're from last
Oh,
week.
my bad.
Yeah, no problem. They were to finish up the light painting I talked about the last time we talked about and
Yeah.
stuff. And then study more math because I'm doing the assessment testing still.
Okay.
And then actually start with the Subaru, actually
Yeah.
like taking it apart and finding out what's wrong with it and like
Yeah,
the engine
you're a
out
car
and
guy.
stuff. Yeah.
Subi.
Tell me, everyone's very
So the issue that really put a cog in my machine basically is my family came to visit. Justin was talking about like hanging out with family and get to know like once you say you're gonna hang out with someone, hang out with them.
Yeah.
Don't put them off. So like I've been putting. My brother lives in the Bay Area because my family divorced and stuff like that. So I got all my family in the Bay, and then my dad lives with me at my house. So I just thought, like, hey, it'd be perfect time to call my little brother up and like, hey, you want to hang out for 4 days,
Yeah.
And so I just all we do is play video games and eat pizza and drink soda,
Sounds like a good week, bro.
Totally simple, but
Yeah.
cool.
Andrew saw it, yeah, he was there for a little bit, But so that was like 4 days out of my 7, so like I only had like
Yeah.
3 days left, if I can math. So so I'm studying for it. So like the thing is though, I put everything kind of like last minute because I started studying on math a lot, so I had like to do a lot of videography, especially because another thing too is I was actually doing the video for the last week's vlog, which I actually did finish, by the way. So I got a little intro going. I synced the actual sound with the video and stuff like that. I ended the video with a quote you said, and I thought it'd be a good ending to it. So I tried, so it's the first time trying this stuff up. So
Let's round of applause, dude. Like,
Question, I don't know you. Like what kind of videographer do you cater? Like, what's your style? Like,
So-
are you?
I like a lot of everything. I don't like the fact that people put like I can understand people doing their own like thing and like going that one speciality of one thing. But my thing is I always like the whole jack of all trades kind of like
video style?
well just in life in general. But for video style, like I like doing cinematography. I love doing just like I always wanted to get into like being like kind of like a director too at the same time. And I also do car vlogs. I just do a whole bunch of stuff.
Just not
because
pornography, though, right?
No.
That's too bad.
Oh, okay.
But
Next week, no?
That actually,
But
my friends had a great idea for that. Did you ever watch Storage Wars?
Yeah,
Storage
I watched
Wars,
it.
yeah, I saw it a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Dude, that show's good.
Great board name, Storage Whores.
Oh!
Alright.
So I'm into a lot of anything I can get into basically, and then like I said, like everything I learned is basically online. Like I had my dad Mexican jumped the border like 6-7 times already, back and forth and stuff like that. So when I met my mom and Jack in a Box, he was the fry cook and she was the cashier, and then from then on, like he didn't know any English, so they got together like just basically just like kind of like, oh, do you like paper, like, oh, you want some like shrimp popcorn? I'll feed you some shrimp popcorn,
Super simple,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
communication.
And so I guess my mom was more of like, like, oh wow, what is this new thing? I've never seen before. Because I'm just a Valley White girl.
Wow. My family comes from that category.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from, man.
So like what ended up happening was I guess they thought she was pregnant at one point, and so my grandpa really liked my dad and like, oh, you guys are getting married now, and she wasn't pregnant. So, so they got married. He's still barely learning English, stuff like that, and then he got his citizenship, and then they had me, and then, so on and so forth. But I don't know what was going on with that one.
It's cool. We're just getting backgrounds to it.
But I think I was going along. I didn't really have my dad was from like the kind of situation your dad was in. He was like a kid of like 11, and he was always getting beaten down and stuff like that. I didn't have much to eat, so like when he tried to raise me, he used to hit me a lot too, because that's what he used to know and that's the only thing he knew. So like coming from that kind of background and stuff like that, and like my mom didn't really know much about schooling, even though she went to college for a little bit. No one really pushed me in the right direction. So to bring everything full back in circle, my mentor was the internet, because I literally learned anything I wanted to know about was the internet, like for sure, And I was a kid, like, and I told you guys before, I didn't have a $100 bill until I was like in college,
Yeah.
So I was going to like the library. I was going on my friends' like little iPods back then, I saw an iPod Nano when I was a kid, and I was like, man, I can't afford that. But hell, that was like fun, But like, so now that I am accomplished as far as I can at the moment, because I set up short-term goals for myself, I can actually achieve a lot of things because I like set that stuff up for myself, like going on the internet for anything I want, like I know anything about cars, like I got a hand-me-down car that the seatbelts didn't work, the brakes were out, like it was bad, dude. So like I went online and I found out how to do it,
Wow.
So everything's self-taught, cameras, cars, to talking to people basically too, because I was a fat kid. And I know you guys said that like, like having motivation to get a girlfriend is like bad, but when you're a fat kid all your life and up to junior year and like no one even giving you a hug before, you know, like
Damn.
you kind of want to lose the weight, so.
I feel bad now.
So.
And that's why I say, like, external, intrinsic, whatever, man.
It was. You're right.
You
It's,
know,
that wasn't.
it works.
That's intrinsic as hell. Bro.
as
Yeah,
long
it's
as
just-
you know where you're going.
You're looking for like self-respect and.
You know?
Yeah, and
That's deep.
everybody's shallow to a certain extent, no matter what they say.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's just
Mm.
you know how you
I don't
It's
realize
human
that.
nature.
Yeah.
I think obesity is like they call it like the last form of prejudice or something like that.
See, seriously, because like literally I was 210, and that was my junior year, and then my summer for 3 months, all I did was run around my backyard because I was too insecure to run outside. So I literally ran in circles for like an hour or so, dude. And then every morning, every night, I would do pull-ups, sit-ups, and push-ups, dude. Like,
Prison workouts.
and then I would eat just chicken and salad. That's it, chicken and salad all the time. And I lost like from 210 to 165,
And, that's
and then
discipline.
from there, 3 months.
That's
dude.
Love it,
discipline.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's inspiring, bro.
And so like.
And not everybody's gifted, Adrian.
You know, and it was motivation, you know, like just like when I saw the positive reinforcement I was getting from just, you know, people around me from losing all that weight, you know, and just like no one was judging me in my house, you know, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, you know, if you put your mind to it, you'll get to it. But the thing is, you still need to actually like push yourself, even though we get to that point. That's my problem right now. Like I always wanted to have a house, I always wanted to have roommates, and I always wanted to have a bunch of parties at my house and stuff like that. And I'm at that point now where I've reached it, and it's like, okay, where do I go from here? You know.
Yeah.
So I'm going here, and you're into real estate, and it's freaking awesome. So now I'm like learning more about the process and learning like how it can go, and that's why I want to keep going too. It's like learning more about this, learn more about everybody else and what they're going through and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You know.
Exactly.
But let's go back to smaller. My goals,
it.
short-term goals. Basically, what's happening now is that like I started on the light painting and stuff like that. And I got to a certain point, and then I realized I got to 40 photos. So the first 40 photos, I did light painting. They were great. The next 40, the camera moved maybe just a quarter of like a quarter of an inch. So everything's shot. Now they'll retake it again. Yeah.
So
So
how long does that-
everything.
How long
Even
does
the
that
first 40?
take?
What's that?
How long does that take to redo?
Probably like an hour or so. You know, it's just like we're just like getting down and actually doing it. But yeah, the first 40, I just got the seats, and that was it. I got the whole half of the car still to go. You know, because I only have like a little tiny like phone to actually light up my car, set up like this big old light. You know, so I'm just going picture by picture, lighting up every single part of the car.
So do you
I
sell
want to see
these
that
cars,
process.
what you make, or this is just for personal use?
See, you remember I told you I wanted to get into a bunch of things. So now I have a camera. I love videography, but I'm also getting into photography. So now I'm doing car painting. You know, I saw some dude on YouTube do it, and I was like, that looks
And
like
so
a lot
you
of
post
fun.
this in YouTube and stuff?
Yeah, I post this on YouTube. So now, like, the thing is about Gary Vee, he always says document the process. And for some reason, I'm always creating, so I'm just like, might as well just kind of toss it out there, see what happens, you know?
Nice.
And since I'm already doing videography, might as well add my little flavor into it, you know, and hopefully something happens.
Wow.
So, you know, like I said, nothing happens until you put something out there,
Yeah.
you know? But, yeah, I started doing that, and then I did a little video of the Subaru. So I did kind of hit the goals I wanted to, but, you know, I still didn't finish them. So my next week's goal, this week's here, on like Monday, I redid it again, basically almost clear cut to what I wanted to do this last week, but I'm actually going to start on them, like, I actually started it on today. I actually like finished the light painting video today, and since I was doing actual light painting itself, it messed up, so I'm going to redo it tonight or tomorrow night. But yeah, that's my short term, and then probably do some assessment testing and stuff like that, and get that. I know I keep thinking of that YouTube name, it's the Top Grow Rich, but the book itself.
Oh yeah.
I actually want to
Grow Rich.
What's that?
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. I actually want everybody has a basis on that book right now, and I feel so out of the loop, and I want to be in it. So I kind of want to get that
I
book.
read that one either.
You haven't read that one either?
I've
still
heard
carry
of it,
Psycho-Cybernetics?
but I haven't read it.
Psycho-cybernetics.
It's
Ooh,
pretty
that one's fire.
complex.
Hey, I got an extra copy. You want it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down, dude.
I'll
Yeah.
give it to you right now.
Okay.
I think I have 3 copies of the book.
Okay.
What's your YouTube channel?
It's Payco Tsunami.
How do you spell that?
It's Payco, and then Tsunami. Yeah, so that's actually a nickname I got when I was in high school. So when I was a freshman in high school,
Cool.
I was a fat kid, you know, and so I was really insecure about myself and my weight, dude. I literally like used to wear like sweats and a big old sweatshirt and anything huge on me, even 110-degree weather, I would wear this thing, and my body like acclimated to the actual like, you know, to the weather, you know, like the heat and stuff like that. So I never sweat. It was weird, you know. Like I didn't go through puberty, dude. Like my sweat doesn't smell. It's weird, you know. So I was able to wear this without like smelling like a weird kid, you know. But yeah. So I went to Sears one day with my mom near Christmas time, and I saw this Letterman jacket, and I was wanted one, and it said Paco right across the chest, you know, like that old brand Paco, Paco. And then I bought that, went to school the next day, and then I used to know this kid named Sonny Santosh. And he didn't know who I was, no one really knew who I was, but he was like, hey, what's up, Paco? Blah, 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 you know, like, how you doing, man? And like, he's like, and so like, after all of that, and him being hella cool with me, like, he got to know my name and stuff like that, but he'd rather call me Paco.
Yeah.
And then everybody around him, I met his friends, started naming me Paco, you know, and then as the years progressed in high school, I went to Paco, and then I guess some Yuga card he was hella into, it rhymed with Peiko, and the last part was Tsunami, so it went from Peiko to Peiko Tsunami because of a Yu-Gi-Oh card. You know, so yeah. So after that, like, yeah, I just thought like, you know, I love that nickname. I don't have those friends anymore because all they did was party and all they did was drink, and you know, they didn't care about my well-being. You know, so right now I have acid reflux, so I really can't have like fatty foods. I can't drink much, you know, and stuff like that. So I told them that they don't care about my health.
Yeah.
You know, so they're not real friends.
Yeah.
You know, you said peer pressure me all the time. So yeah, I miss that group of friends and stuff like that.
Fun people hanging around with.
Yeah, exactly. But they're staying in one spot, man.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, like we said in the last meeting, you are who you surround yourself with. And do I want to be associated with people who just don't give a shit about anything?
Exactly.
Who don't want to like go anywhere in their lives? No, man. I don't want to stay with us all my damn life, dude. You know, like I've been here long enough.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Very true.
Yeah, that's the backstory of Peiko and Peiko Tsunami. You know, right now I got
I'm gonna check it out for sure, man.
Yeah. Right now I'm doing some car vlogs and stuff like that, but like I'm planning on taking some trips to the beach and stuff like that, do some cinematography, and actually like practice some stuff I've been learning for a while now. So right now I'm doing a bunch of how-to videos on car stuff, but yeah, I plan on doing more, and doing something like this is again progressing my skills and finding out how to do things better, you know.
Yep, that's sick.
So, like I said, the first one's finished. Probably gonna go up tonight. Sounds like a good password for the YouTube.
Just upload, bro.
Yeah.
I think I told you that before. I told him when I went to go drop off the memory card. I think we made a mistake telling him anything. This is your thing, bro. Just edit it however you feel is right and upload.
Oh, like about the conversation we had.
And then as time goes on and we see the videos, we will feedback.
I think you guys will like it. You know.
Yeah, I think so too.
I just tend to like think about things on the spot. Everything I put out there is just on the spot. You know.
I like it.
Awesome, bro, man.
Yeah.
Do you, man?
I like being creative.
Yeah, bro. None of us are gonna hold you back.
No, it's okay, man.
Handle.
I put some music there if people wanna cry.
But I'm okay. I can take criticism. I can take advice. You know, like you can't grow if you can't. You know.
It's important that we all do here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're here for too. Like I hope that if I say something that just sounds wrong, you guys say something like, "Bro, Adrian, that's freaking retarded. Like, get your shit together, bro." And I'm like, "Damn, you guys are right."
A few times.
Yeah, and then I kind of go around, you know, like, make sure you guys just.
Oh, there's also a slap session too.
A slap session, yeah. Let's just be really
It's therapeutic.
Very therapeutic.
All right, what you, Adrian, do? What's been all your short-term goals, dude?
Damn. So last week was interesting. Well, I think from last week I was really inspired to like do what you say, you know, write out your short-term goals and like handle that. But I didn't do it.
It's steps.
I didn't do it.
Steps.
Well, I still have like the system in my phone where like an idea comes to me and like it's cool. One thing though I can tell you is that like a lot of the positive vibes I've been getting from here has been carrying over a lot. I've been feel like I'm meeting more people, you know, like getting more inspired to just take action on ideas. Like Jasper, like I think what was it? I was having a conversation with somebody on Thursday about you, and I was like, I'm gonna call him up, and I wrote a list. I was like. So I guess I did kind of follow through with some of my goals, you know, because I wrote down, like, I'm gonna call Jasper this week, because, bro, I've been meaning to, like, you know, relink with you for a while, you know?
So you picked up Justin's thing.
Yes, and that's when Justin came about.
Justin.
And that's another thing what Justin, you know, like, he was saying how, like, it's important to make sure you spend time with
You follow up
the right people.
Yeah.
And one thing I did last week was spend too much time with the wrong person. And, well, you know, like, I was talking to this girl or whatever, you know?
Oh, okay.
But not really, but not even seriously, you know, it's more like,
Well, you got something out of it, huh?
yes, but nothing fulfilling.
Momentary pleasure.
Momentary pleasure, exactly.
Momentary pleasure.
And it's like,
You gotta sacrifice those sometimes.
and you gotta sacrifice that shit too, because honestly, like that, nothing comes good of that. I think in the past, even like with other relationships, the sex happens too fast. you know, and it's like maybe try something different, and I want to do that.
Just
And-
momentary. You know?
Yeah, and so it all worked out though. It was great because then she ended up telling me on Saturday. She went out Saturday night, and we were hanging out Sunday, and she was like, "I slept with somebody else," and I was like,
You know this right
I was
now,
like, I was like this, bro. I was like, because I was already breaking it off, and I was like, I don't want to be spending more time with this girl anymore. And for her to tell me that, it would feel like
A release.
yes, you did it to yourself. Like, I don't have to give you the dirt. Like, you know, it's over. Like, I'm so
She laid
relieved.
it out for you.
I don't know if I'm gonna edit this out later, but like I feel like just sharing that, you know, because I think the important takeaway from all that was that like I do not want to be spending and wasting my time.
Be selfish sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Exactly, be selfish, but also, you know, understand like what the root of that was that like I was afraid to be alone.
Yeah.
The only reason I even gave her my time or anything like that was like
Well, you don't love yourself enough then.
yeah, and you know what? I feel so good when she told me that, and I realized, bro, like I'm in like even better place right now, you know, and I feel hella good, and I'm like ready like this
Well,
week
that's
to
a
just
good
keep
thing, Austin.
taking action and stuff. So I know like this week I'm gonna be waking up a lot earlier to work out in the gym because I feel like that's where like I'm at my mental prime. If I work out in the morning, I know like I'm gonna have a good ass day, good ass vibes. Like my best ideas come right after that.
Yeah.
So waking up at 5:30 in the morning, working out for an hour, I'll be done by 6:30. I still have 2 hours before I start work at 8:30. Fucking handle, you know, journal, come up with ideas. And I really want to invest more time and energy into this, you know, like
Yeah.
we really need to start developing more structure with this.
Yeah.
Today was
Yeah.
really sloppy.
Really
If
bad.
I'm gonna be completely honest, it was bad. not bad in the sense that because we got hella good content, we got a lot of good information.
I agree with you.
But I think we could have started off a lot better,
Yeah.
where we,
Yeah.
because a lot of people weren't being engaged in the beginning.
Yeah,
so like I
sure.
think if we each engage each other, right away we all have like a
That's
collective
why I wanted to
energy.
make sure that we hit our goals before we all just be like, yeah, let's cut. You know what I mean? That's why I was like,
Yeah,
let's get
good-
something
and-
right here.
and good thing
like,
on that, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that we all talk and everything like that. And Jasper, thank you for coming, man.
Bro.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
It was
thank you,
legit.
man. We
Yeah.
really appreciate
And
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I'm
A lot better than the last invite. But no offense, but
Oh yeah, way better. Just way better.
But-
Anyway, so one of the things though, like I've been realizing that with, like, honestly, if we keep focusing on adding value to each other, this thing is gonna be something that we can add value to a lot of people.
right.
And it's my hope that with this, that we can actually develop a system that we can duplicate for other people to follow and create a collective community that expands besides this garage. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about something that I bought the domain names, you know, for
Yeah.
for
6
for
degrees.
6 degree theory.
You did?
I bought 2 domain names. I bought 6 degree theory and 6 with TH.
What'd
degree
you
theory.
use to buy it?
GoDaddy.com.
GoDaddy. Okay.
Yeah. So I bought 2 domain names for a whole year for only 10 bucks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm like,
saying.
yeah, like that's it, bro. I'm like, shit, I'm buying like hella.
That's what I told you.
I was like, talking grow rich, right? Like, shit, like.
Sold.
So I had the Instagram already made too. Like I had the name at least, you know. And so I think just developing that more throughout the week, and then hopefully I can come back with you guys with more shit, like saying like, oh yeah, you know, stuff is actually uploaded. So I think getting more on with graphic art for the Instagram, for the YouTube, you know. I don't know what you guys want to make it as, but obviously. it's-
We'll get on all the social platforms, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, everything, because this is
And
podcast,
like-
YouTube, Instagram,
like how
Snapchat, everything.
social, I mean, how Gary Vee does his, you know what I mean? He does a podcast, you can listen to it, you can watch it on YouTube, or you can see excerpts of it on fucking Instagram.
Facebook.
You
Oh,
see
yeah,
like the
all of it.
2-minute ones, like that was all I was doing before. I was like, but lately I've been like doing the hour-long podcast
Keynotes,
again.
full thing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I just watched like the 2-minute one, like, thanks Gary Vee, I got 30 seconds, I'm good.
So yeah, definitely continue to do that, and really defining and refining my skills that I feel like I want to develop, which is I want to be able to talk more and communicate more effectively. Like I have a book called The Power of Storytelling that I've had, you know, I haven't really gone super down with it, but there's a lot of good like tidbits in there on how to like really like tell a story that like emotionalizes people and gets them understanding you know. And so doing that, I think wanting to also write more too, you know, because if
Yeah.
that website's gonna be a blog, you know,
Yeah.
like that's what it's gonna be, and like, so developing that skill too. And it's funny because I've always wanted to be a writer. Growing up as a kid, when I was like 5, 6 years old, people would ask me like, "What do you want to be when you get older?" I remember like at family functions, you know, like I want to be an author. Like, I don't know why, you know, and because I really liked reading when I was growing up, so. But so I think developing all those kind of skills and then continue investing in this. And there's other things too, man. Like I need to start planning out more of what I'm gonna do to further my education as a physical therapist. Like I need to figure out where I'm gonna be headed for that. And but yeah, I think it starts tomorrow. Waking up early, going to the gym, and that's where I'm gonna sit down and just like be more specific with my goals, like really iterating what's
So that's
gonna
your
be this
goal
week.
right there.
That's my goal, is to figure out my goals
Yep.
for the week.
Be
Because there's a lot. Obviously, I just said a lot.
Yeah.
No, for
Or
sure.
to
exactly.
like articulate your goals, you mean?
To articulate and really refine it to like be more
Yeah, exactly.
Specific.
'Cause, like,
specific
that's-
as to what action I'm gonna take to make it.
Like those
accomplish
short-term goals, like when you said that and you like put the deadline like that, really like resonated with me, and I was like, damn, I need to do this. 'Cause, like I feel like Adrian sometimes where I'm just like, I want to do this.
I want to be a writer. Yeah.
I
I want to start a fitness page and.
Because I totally feel you on everything you just said. Because like one thing that I've always wanted to write, like do, like is write a script.
Wait, so are we going to your goals now?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
my bad.
yeah. Not good.
Alright, but yeah, like I was saying, like one thing I've definitely always wanted to do is write a screenplay. Like I don't know, I just always thought I'd want to write a movie. Like, you know, I thought that was sick, like forever. And I have written a bunch of stuff like that. Like I actually pulled out my old journal and stuff like that. I was reading some of my old ideas and some like the old stuff that I'd written and just stuff like that. And it was like it was really inspiring too. Like and me and a couple of my friends too, we've had like this little thing too where we kind of want to write like a webisodes, like shows and stuff, right? And like me and my friend Cam are writing, you know Cam, T's cousin?
Yeah.
And he's a teacher and he's smart, so he helps me with my grammar. No, I'm just kidding. But so I'll write the webisodes and stuff, and me and Cam would kind of collaborate. And we've written like an episode before. We got down and written an episode, but we kind of just
What's a
stopped
webisode,
it.
bro?
Like, you know, like a YouTube episode.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, like a TV show with like a low budget that I'm gonna throw on YouTube.
Alright,
yeah.
You know, like, yeah, it's super funny. It's like about like, it's titled like the fuck ups because you know it's about me and my friends how we just fuck up all the time. Like a bunch of stupid-
Relatable.
Exactly, super relatable, super fun. We like I'm a big like Friends, Seinfeld, Larry David. You know what I mean? Like I love all those people, like all those shows. Like I want it to be kind of something like that where it's like everyday life and things like that. But that's like a side goal. But what's really cool about that is that because of this group, it's helped me kind of get another group formed, and then we're gonna start meeting on other day and things like that. And it's like the other day we were talking about it really drunk, but then I brought it up again when we were sober. Like the other night we were all eating dinner, like me, my friend Raul, because he's into like cameras and like video and stuff like that too. Super cool guy. I'm gonna introduce you guys.
Yeah.
And so he's super cool dude. And then my boy Terrence, like hilarious. You guys all know Terrence. Like he's the funniest guy ever. Like you know what I mean? He's a fucking character. Like that guy needs to be on a fucking show. And I thought of this other great idea, like for T, we're gonna make him like I don't know, but that's anyway. So.
That's sick, bro.
But it's sick because yeah, we're all gonna meet. And I talked to Cam about it. We all played ball and we all talked about it. Like me, Cam, Roll, and Terrence, like all want to meet and start really getting down and writing these episodes and stuff like that. So that's like one thing that I think this has helped me kind of like develop over there too, and kind of make sure that we can kind of structure that. And what's cool is that everybody's agreed to want to do that like on a weekend night. Which is perfect because like me and Terrence, like that's our biggest problem. Like me and Terrence get together and we just like don't know how to stay sober. Just hang out on Friday and Saturday nights and just get fucked up all the time. It's just like, why? So it's like instead we've decided that, you know what I mean, instead of like on Friday or Saturday night we all meet up and we all start, getting down and writing these webisodes. And if anything, like if it doesn't go anywhere, it'd just be better time spent, you know what I mean? But that's something that I definitely wanted to do, and that's funny that you said that you like writing and stuff like that. So that's what kind of reminded me of that. I totally forgot about that.
Can I get invited?
Yeah, if you want to write webisodes.
Yeah, dude. I want to go. I want to do that. That sounds fun as fuck.
It's hella fun.
Because I wanted to start a YouTube channel too, where it was kind of like motivational but hella funny and skitted.
Yeah, like
skit
ours
show.
is like a skit, but it's also like improv. Because like I feel like when we all just get together, it's just like there's comedic value to it. Like it's just funny times and stuff like that. And Terrence already, with him and his million ideas, he wants to do a spin-off already. We haven't even written the damn show yet. Like chill. But I love the energy. I love where it's going and stuff like that. But anyways, my real goals is that's one of them, is to really make sure that we buckle down and get that done instead of going out like on the weekends. Like that's something that I really want to focus on, is like not blowing like
save money and then invest the time into something that could become something.
Exactly, like and then waking up the next day late and feeling like shit, and like you know what I mean. Like why do that to myself every fucking weekend? Like why do I wake up and I look at my bank account, and my feelings get hurt? Like like why do that to myself?
Feelings.
I swear. That's what exactly. That's the worst part. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why am I stealing from myself? That's how I feel. Damn it, drunk me, you bastard. I swear.
Gotta call the bank.
I didn't spend that money.
Someone stole my car!
Someone had it in my account.
can't do that. That's another one of my big goals. Is like for a little bit, like when I held on to like my credit cards, I can't use those anymore. Like that's why I just use my debit card solely. Like that's why I can't even call a bank anymore because they're like, no, we're looking, we're checking. You're talking about your debit card. We're gonna look. The credit cards, they're way more chill. But
Good to know.
so
From ever.
credit cards, way more chill. But yeah, that's another thing that I need to do too. That's one thing that I've been working on actually for a while is that like not using my credit cards. Like, cause for a minute I stacked up like a cool amount of debt for no reason. You know what I mean? For no reason at all. I was like, oh, 0% interest, perfect. I got 15 months to pay this.
Yeah.
Like, wait, how much have I spent on here? Like, crazy. You know, it happened so quick.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing that I've definitely been working on too. But again, like what I definitely want to do is, you know, if I go out, no, I don't even want to go out. Like, not go out.
Damn.
I need to like spend time. Like, you know, if I go out though, like not fucking give myself like 6 shots. Like, why? Why do that? You know what I mean?
Hey, just pregame.
Yeah, I was like, just buy a bottle, dude. Yeah,
I do.
buy 2
This
shots,
is the
man.
problem. We get fucked up. Like it's like we buy a bottle, we pregame, and then we go out, and then I fucking look at my card like, bro, why did I buy like 4 shots of Patron for myself? Like, you know what I mean? I just see like $11 here, $11 here, $11 here, $30 in Uber this weekend, or like literally this last weekend I spent like $70 in Uber. I went to San Francisco though for the day, like so that like cost me a little bit of Uber, but.
Cheaper than a DUI.
Yeah, exactly. $70 is a lot cheaper than a DUI. A lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper.
A lot,
Because you lose other things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'll lose my real estate license. But
I would lose my license as a.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was with a friend when she got one, and the
Yeah.
next day, 500. Where's my money to the
Yeah.
Modesto Police Department? Just to get your car out, and that's not paying
Oh,
the
yeah.
tow truck.
Oh shit.
That's just
That's
to pay
the car out.
MPD. She had to pay 500,
Damn.
and then still to pay the tow trucks.
And the ticket.
And the
Oh,
ticket.
she hasn't even started everything else.
Yeah.
That was just
Oh,
Like to get the
Wow.
car.
that was a little
dude.
taste of it.
What was
She's-
this?
A few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, super
Yeah.
recent. Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor
see,
thing,
like,
yeah.
that's-
But fair decision. But at the point, a lot cheaper.
yeah, a lot cheaper, but still, it's like.
But still, yeah,
It's like
definitely.
why? Like, you know what I mean? I could have been sober. I could have drove or some shit. Like, or I would have not spent that much money on Uber. Like, fuck. Like, it's just hella annoying. And then that much money on alcohol and whatever, blah blah. But so that's definitely one of my big goals. Is like, you know, like to start. Like, I don't know if that's like short term, long term. That's like a work in progress. I feel like I've got a substance abuse issue I got to deal with here.
Well, that's too. You're used to just always going to that.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
that
Like so, but and I think one reason too is like I stopped smoking for like a month and like damn, I feel like I started drinking a lot more. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, I gave up one vice and picked up another one. It's like, why?
I mean, the best way to fix a problem is like recognizing it. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but it's like that's also a problem is that I know it's a problem. I know it is. You know what I mean? I continue to do it. So it's like, you know, like that saying, like if you knew better, you'd do better. Doesn't apply to me. Like, I know better sometimes, a lot of time, all the time, but I'm not always doing better. But definitely making an effort, a conscious effort now. You know what I mean? And like trying to not, you know, drink like that. And I think that's gonna take a little bit of time. It took me a time. Like honestly, I was super proud of myself for not smoking for like a month. Like, you know, I was like
For no what from
for not smoking for like a month. So I'm like was like on some heavy smoking. You know what I mean? Like, and I've been smoking for like forever and everything like that. And I think that that's one thing that I have accomplished. Like myself, like I think I'm cool like with smoking again. Like, but now I'm just definitely not gonna be to like the point where I was at. Like I felt like again like I'm a big believer in like enjoying things, but in moderation. Like I don't think like, and that's anything. You can overindulge in anything: food, soda, not water necessarily, but like, you know, all sorts of different
Well, you
things.
can't
like-
die if you drink too much water.
Yeah.
You kinda can.
Bro,
Same
get
with
it.
salt and
More people
yeah.
go to the hospital for having too much water than being dehydrated.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy
I
shit.
believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that woman that died on the radio show.
I
Like,
Drinking too
I-
much water is actually not good for
It's
you.
hella
Yeah.
bad for you. You get
You
brain
need that
fog. You can
balance.
feel it if you're
No, it washes out your mineral as well.
Yeah.
Washes out some minerals as well.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, we get water from everything, you know, any kind of food pretty much. I mean, our body's just
See, I drink 2 gallons
so
a day,
much water.
but my body's acclimated to it.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's not really good. 2
Yeah, I
gallons.
know, it's a lot.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just a jug of water.
Good.
Um, But yeah, so yeah, moderation. So I've been I need to work on that. Is like indulging moderately. You know what I mean? Not overindulging. Like when it comes to alcohol and spending crazy amounts, like I was talking about. So those are definitely some like big goals that I've got to work on myself. Is like, you know what I mean? Is like spending my money and my time a little bit more wisely. And I think that by creating like other little groups and like other things for me and my friends to do, it's like it definitely helps me. Like, you know what I mean? Because I like hanging out with those guys on the weekend. But like maybe if we can just hang out and not get drunk, like it'd be great. But really, my last week's goals, like I was saying, like the biggest thing was like, you know, I did set some goals I was super happy about. Like I got down, like, and I didn't hit all my goals. I hit like 3 of my goals, because like one of my biggest goals was find, like, you know, secure a new job, like secure that for sure. And I did that. That was huge for me. And then and then I just wanted to again, like I was saying, I just been listening to a lot of Gary Vee. Again, he's talking about like flipping stuff and stuff like that, like just making a little bit of extra income by getting free shit on Craigslist or fucking buying some cheap shit on OfferUp and then reselling it on eBay or something like that. So what I did is like I just looked around my house, like, damn, what are some shit that I could sell here that I know I don't need? Like I've had my subs for like forever, like when I used to have them in my car and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm gonna post this on OfferUp. Sold my subs. I have another set of subs that I need to sell now. Like, you know what I mean? Like just little stuff like that. I was like, damn, made like an extra $80. Like this shit's been sitting in my garage for literally over a year now. Like just sitting here. Like I don't have it in my car, not using it at all. Like so little shit like that. I definitely want to start, like, you know, just selling shit and flipping shit and stuff like that, like looking on Craigslist, spending my time. Yeah, see, like just making a little bit of an extra income. So that's another one of my goals. Not necessarily like flipping things, but it was trying to find an additional source of income. So it's like I read in the past that the average millionaire has 7 sources of income. I have 1. You know what I mean? So it's like, where are my other 6? Let me figure that out. So that's what I've definitely been trying to work on. I want to sell my car. Like, I don't, but that one's like the tough one. Like I don't want to sell my Escalade, but I need to. So that's like the tough one for me right now. Is that like I wanted to post that super bad this week. Like that was my goal. Like post. I've been wanting to post it all summer.
Do you have a backup car?
No, I want to get one. I have my motorcycle right now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I so I just rode my motorcycle right now, but.
I mean, you still saving on gas right now.
Yeah,
anyway, so
exactly.
What is it? It gets like 8 miles a gallon, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I
Yeah.
barely fill it up.
Yeah,
it's
I always wanted.
so
I wanted a Grom hella bad.
Yeah.
So I looked at motorcycles.
Exactly.
Like
That's. I was gonna get something like that too, but then I got this thing that's like just a tiny bit bigger.
Yeah.
Tiny bit bigger.
A little more power too.
Yeah. But like, I want to get something even bigger now. But I don't know.
Aren't the Groms 150?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like twice the size.
Yeah, dude. The Groms, you like literally like it's like at your waist. Dude.
Yeah, they're small. Yeah.
Those are sick for bombing through town, dude. Like,
Yeah, you get like 125 miles a gallon on that damn thing.
Oh,
It's ridiculous, dude. But it only holds like 2.5 gallons.
But still, like, it still lasts forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was another thing I wanted to do. I wanted to sell my car and then, you know, buy a Honda. Like they like hella good on gas.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Honda. I just wanted to
Try
buy
the
a
Honda
Honda.
again.
Yeah.
I got one.
Yeah, see, like I need a Honda. I just want to go buy like a Civic. Like I want to sell my car and then buy like a Civic, like 2007, 2008.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then yeah, but that one's tough for me because I don't want to sell my Escalade. Like I was thinking, like, damn, I should have not bought my motorcycle and I should have bought a car. You know what I mean? Like, but anyways, that's something I need to work on. Is like just letting go of my car. It's like, you know, I'm gonna miss the wood grain. I'm gonna miss the leather seats. I miss those things like a lot. I love gripping the wood grain.
I like the sunroof.
Like the sunroof. Like I'm saying, I grew up listening to rap music. Like Escalades are my favorite car. I love Cadillacs. Like damn, I love just being able to say,
What's that one song?
tipping a Cadillac, gripping wood grain. Like damn, that's sick. Like, now I'm not gonna be able to say that, but it's cool. It's all about the sacrifice and the struggle and just making the smart decision. Like because this new job that I got's in Pleasanton. So it's like I was already commuting to fucking Elk Grove and that was costing me like $200 a week. Like $250 a week in gas.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Right? That's crazy. I was barely making money, especially after that.
Driving a Honda, I could like almost spend like 40 a week or something.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like less than half of what I'm spending on gas currently. And it's like, so that's why I need to just make the smart decision because I know it'll be a lot smarter for me in the long run. And eventually, you know, I'll buy another Cadillac.
Yeah.
That's
better, man.
Yeah. But I don't even want another Cadillac. Really, I go to sleep every day again. I've been rap lines all night. One of my other favorite rap lines is Currency. He talks about he goes to sleep with a picture of his Porsche on his wall. I heard that line when I was a kid. I fucking ordered a Porsche poster from Amazon. I have it on my wall, and it's been on my wall forever. And I'm surprised that on this phone I didn't set my background as a Porsche, because always on my phones it's always been a Porsche, a 911 Turbo. Like, that's what
Beautiful ass
you know,
car, man.
beautiful
Yeah.
fucking
Bored, huh?
You cannot find a cheap one, dude.
And
You
not
just
at
mess it
all,
up, dude.
exactly.
It's so
Even the
bullshit.
older ones, like they're all getting so expensive, like it's crazy. So it's like,
That's the one I priced was like 11 grand, dude. It was like a piece of shit. Dude. It was
yeah,
like,
see, like,
it's like missing an inch or something.
Is it an issue?
Like great firm.
that's the thing, is,
11,000 per.
I want a fucking Porsche, and it's like, you know, for a while it's like I forgot. But that's one of my long-term goals, is like a Porsche. And I go to sleep every day and I look at my little Porsche on my wall like, I'm gonna get you.
So what's your short term for next week?
Short term for next week, I haven't completely determined. I think I really do need to just post my car on Craigslist. But there's small things that I need to do first, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I have like one of my sensors out, like my tire monitor sensor. I just need to take it in, go get the sensor replaced. It cost me a couple $100.
You can literally buy the sensor and just.
Oh yeah, see,
Yeah,
dude,
just-
I'm right here, bro.
Yeah,
Asking you.
dude.
Watching your videos. Hey, you trying to make a video on how to replace a sensor on an Escalade? No, just
we could shoot one, bro. Like,
yeah, I swear.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I swear.
Yeah, providing content.
Hey, you know, I need a light change in my.
Yeah, my
Ford
light is
Focus
out
video?
right now, my brake.
And I also like the little lining on my head roof on my, you know.
Dude, all you need, you can buy a can of.
I did. I bought it, and my dumbass dropped it, and I broke this
Oh,
thing
dude.
first day.
Damn.
Yeah, because they sell those cans for like $7.
Yeah.
And you just literally spray it up and just kind of like lay it in there. And
Yeah.
Wait a couple hours and you're good, dude.
Exactly. So I just need to do that, and that's definitely what I need to do. And I want to take classes again, but I feel like I don't want to overload myself, but I definitely want to like start taking some classes again at school. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So definitely want to take some like online classes, register for school, fucking.
Look into it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely worth it right now.
Yeah, so I definitely need to do that. So those are a couple of my goals: is post my car on Craigslist for real this time. Keep trying to find shit to sell, like, and flip, and find some classes to take. You know, start getting, you know, get back into school, just see what I can do.
Solidify it right on your board, man.
Yeah,
And you're good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write it tomorrow or tonight, really.
Well, awesome that you just said.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna write it for you.
I thought about it right now. Yeah, no. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, and then yeah.
Okay, so Yasmin.
I'm gonna be short because I need to go to sleep.
No,
So, my goals last week were, what were they? Oh, I was trying to practice sweeping because of the thing I'm doing at the end of this month. So that was one of my goals, and I actually stick to it. I did it every day except today. Today was like the only day I did it, and then, huh?
Is it our fault?
No, I like I said last night, I couldn't sleep, so I was like up till 6, and then I went to sleep at 6, and then woke up at like 1.
6 more hours to be here.
I just couldn't sleep, yeah, so that's why I'm like, okay, I kind of need sleep. I work at like 9 in the morning.
Oh shit.
So, but yeah, that's the reason why I kind of didn't really do it, and then, so my next goal really is to do an Instagram and YouTube channel.
Dude, there you
A
go.
little nervous, but it's what I want to do, just
Yeah.
kind of fishing it
What
up.
content on your YouTube channel?
Huh?
What content your YouTube channel?
It's for like a hula hooping. You know, like hula hoop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. It throws everyone off because you know
Okay.
it's not very common. But yeah, that's what I do pretty much. I've been doing it for about a year now, and then I'm gonna have like a little bit of a show at the end of this month, a hula hoop show.
Oh, wow.
So that's pretty much my goal, is to just be able to do that, because I've been thinking about this for like months, and I just like never did it because I'm like, no, never mind, and then I'm like, yeah, I really
You're not
should.
confident enough? Or?
No. Not at all. I'm not gonna lie.
Straight up.
Not at all, no. Not
sick.
any point possible right now, but I'm working on it. I mean, I just got used to like hula hooping in front of like my parents. Like, I never would do it in front of them because I kind of didn't think they would take it serious. And then now they're always like telling people like, oh yeah, she always hula hoops, and then they look at them like,
For that.
Like what? I think I just kind of let people get to me because I think a lot of them.
You're asking permission.
I know, yeah. No, when you were pointing that point out, I was like, that's what it was. So no, I'm building confidence. I'm also like getting familiar with like cameras and stuff. That was like a big step for me last time we were here. I was like, like all tense. Now I'm just like a little more laid back. So definitely working more in front of like cameras, YouTube channel, Instagram. So that way, the reason why I want to really make this goal too is so that way when I do, do my hula hoop performance at the end of this month, I was thinking of making, which is another part of my goal, but I need to build an Instagram and YouTube first. It's just like quick little cards so that way because I always have people that come up to me when I hula hoop, like, oh, do you have classes? Do you have tutorials? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have an Instagram I could follow you? And I'm like, no, like I don't have any of that. And they're just like, oh, you should. So that's why I figured, at the end of this month when I do my show, like if I have just quick little cheap, kind of like the flyers I was mentioning that me and my friend made, but just like little cards, no phone number, no nothing, just
all your social media stuff.
Exactly, and it always gets asked, and like people always like record me on their phones and ask to follow, and it never happens.
Yeah, video guy right here.
Yeah, I know. There's so much potential is what I'm saying.
There
is the potential, but I didn't at first because like I said, I was too discouraged. It's like no one even knows what hula hooping is. They think it's a joke. They think it's for like 4-year-olds and.
But not the way you do it.
No,
That's
a
legit.
niche.
It's
That's
entertaining.
a niche.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, no one's doing that.
Exactly.
No, and that's kind of
No
what.
competition there.
No, and yes, I mean there definitely is. There's actually a lot of hula hoopers in Modesto that I bumped in. Yes, it's not as common, but it's there.
But you're like, because you're already in the community, so you know. Like.
So I mean, in me being the person I am, I have like a lot of anxiety. I get scared of people. I like listen to people. Their opinion always matters. And I kind of started slowly realizing with hula hooping, it kind of broke that. Because hula hooping isn't what everyone does. It isn't any of that. So I was like, okay, it kind of taught me some stuff. So I mean, it's more than just getting the YouTube channel. It's like building the confidence, not letting people watching a video, scare me because that does kind of like oh gosh, what are they gonna think of it? But that's when I started practicing on Snapchat because I know I have you on Snap and I never.
I should watch hula hoop stuff. I'm
It's
curious. Is it presented?
Let me just tell you this. I thought hula hooping was just for like 5-year-old little girls and boys, but when I actually saw a girl hula hooping, I was just mesmerized.
Is it like presented in a sexy way, kind of?
It's not. It can be. I mean, everyone's different. That's some girls do it with pole dancing. Some just do it not sexy, and some do it. It's just very different. Some girls even do it in a ballerina, like a ballet kind of form. So I mean, it's very different. And
It's all up to interpretation.
yeah. So I mean, if you look at it, it's super crazy. So that's what got me started. Is I looked at these girls that were doing it, and I'm like, I want to do that. How do I do that? So I didn't know how. I just turned to the internet because no one around me hula hooped except one person, but she didn't really take it serious, and she's been hooping the same amount of time as me. And I mean, I don't want to like applaud myself, but she doesn't know as much as I do. But when I had a conversation with, and we're actually not friends. I'm not a big fan of her, but
competition, huh?
No,
She's like, "Love it,
actually, it was she's one of my best friend's sister,
Okay.
twin sister.
Oh.
So
That's interesting.
That is very interesting.
one of my
not
best friend's
competition.
It's
twins,
emotionally
and no, it's totally
Why
not.
compete? She dominates.
Well, it's not even before her and I both started hooping. Before that, she did not like me for no reason. I mean, it was stupid. So then I saw how she was, and I was like, dude, it's cool. So whatever. Then I started hooping, and she did at almost the same time. We were both starting, so like maybe this is a good starting point for us. To be okay, to not have any beef. Because she was talking crazy talk, saying that she wanted to fight me, and I'm like. Oh, it was stupid. I was pretty mellow about it. I was like, yeah, sure, okay, whatever. So I thought that was a cool meeting point for me and her. So I actually did talk with her, and we would try to show each other tricks and stuff. And her dedication wasn't there, so I was like,
But you try to overcome that like animosity and stuff like that, right? You're just like trying to like, okay, you don't like me, but hopefully there's one thing we got
Yeah,
together.
no, that's what I saw it as like an
Yeah.
open window. Like, hey, like
But-
we had a past. Let's move from here. You're my best friend's sister, for fuck's sake, you
Yeah, I see
know.
you almost all the time, that kind of thing.
Well, to make it even worse, she was also my ex's brother's girlfriend.
Oh,
She was just always there,
Yeah.
always there. So I was like, can we just like find a way to make this work? So I figured hula hooping was like a good one, but her dedication wasn't there, so I couldn't really relate to her. So even though I did have someone kind of around me that hula hooped, it just wasn't. She didn't care to learn. She was bored of it. She didn't like it. She did, but she didn't have that like, I don't know, like passion, you know? Like she didn't want to learn. She just was like, oh, I don't know how to do it. I don't know that trick. I'm like,
So
you
this
wanna
hula
try.
hoop, is this more like as an adventure, or do you have an intention to take this somewhere?
I do, yeah. Well, I didn't months ago, and then I think in the past few months, I kind of saw the
The opportunity?
potential. Yeah, like I never did. I just did it for my own enjoyment because it was fun. It was a good exercise. It killed my time because I felt like I had too much time, and I didn't know what to do with it. You know, I was either partying, drinking, doing like just something that was just useless. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't give me money or anything, but it's fun. You know, I get a good exercise. I get outside. So it started as that, and then it became more challenging and more challenging. And then I would just watch. I mean, I'll practice like easily like 4 hours a day. Just which I know it sounds like nothing because it's like
No,
Sounds like a lot.
no, I will literally just be in my backyard and just
That's called passion.
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I wish I could put 4 hours for something. Like
I know that's
I need something
exactly like that's a lot.
On a bad day, it's like an hour, you
But
know,
still,
like,
that's a
and
bad- I
that's
feel like
a bad day.
An hour towards something on a good day.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm
I know, it's
saying
like-
this was never here until the past few months. I mean, I practice a lot,
Yeah.
but the like what you asked me, seeing it more than what it is, you know, is it somewhere I want to take? That's the only reason why I did, because I think my effort has kind of showed myself like, oh shit, like you can do some stuff, and then it's also like what I was telling you guys, like people come up to me like, oh, like do you have classes for kids? You know, 'cause parents are coming up to me like, yo, like can you like have classes for kids?
Dude,
Like,
okay.
It's like already ready.
Hey, I was
no, I know
so-
that's
no, I
what
was-
I'm saying.
there was
This
this-
was never
Today,
here for me until,
today I watched this guy who's a world champion yo-yoer.
and that's
World
the thing.
champion yo-yoer. And then
Yes.
I saw like in the comments he was talking about like, yeah, if you want to support me, I have this
The way-
website. You can buy, you know, the yo-yo package, blah
There's
blah.
so
He's
many
like,
different niches.
Exactly. That's what
Ridiculous
opened my
niche,
mind.
Yeah.
I was
is-
watching this guy in this podcast. He's like a successful business owner who's opened like a bunch of businesses. And one thing he said like, oh, I've never opened up a business unless somebody started asking for it. And when people start asking for it,
It's-
that's
it's
just
just-
literally your destiny. Yasmin.
I know, that's well, like not I know, but like that's what I'm saying. I didn't start thinking of this until super
It's right in front of
recent.
you, you
It's
know?
literally slapping your face like, make money.
Yeah. I mean, I
wanted
get
or
asked
not.
if I have YouTube channels. I get asked to follow my Insta, and I'm like, dude, I have an Insta, but it's my personal one, and I don't even post on there like ever.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of what led me to that, and the thought of
Just
like.
have him go take a video with you and just post that sucker all in one day.
Like I said, but
That's
it's
it.
a lot of my like, you know, I've had like
Emotional
anxiety.
state,
yes,
right?
yeah.
So,
that's what I need to
are
work on
you-
first, I think.
I mean, are you really desperate to make that happen?
Oh yeah,
You know?
no, well, and also, but like I said, this just started. I mean, I never saw this, but another thing I kind of thought to myself is. There's so many areas I can go with this. I can either run my own shop, make my own hula hoops, because I've already watched tutorials on how to make them. So I already know how to make them.
and then you
So-
sell them on your website too. Be like, oh, you need a starter package? Boom, I'm
You
selling.
need
them.
lessons
start
is
selling
big.
tips.
You
Boom,
know,
they come
if I
in for lessons, rent
So-
them hula hoops,
So
sell
all
them
it
hula
Hula
hoops.
takes is
studio?
just one
Oh my
video,
God.
right?
Event in the
yeah,
parks.
I know.
And you like launch like an event in the park and shit. People should walk by.
Not
What are you guys doing? Hula
Not
hoop? What the?
even that.
Whoa! People hula
Yeah,
hoop like that?
I
You can go to
actually-
like
Take this shit on
Dolores
YouTube channel?
Park on like a Saturday. You know like how fun it is over there.
Crusader
Like,
Park?
already- No, Dolores like an SF. You know like.
Oh yeah.
I'm more like a
dude.
promotional
You take
kind
your
of guy.
hula
I see
hoops
hula
and then-
hoops,
Hey.
short
It already,
shorts.
interesting enough actually. I don't know if you saw my
Marketing right
snap a few months ago. I think it was like a month ago. I went to, there was like a group Facebook event, and it was Modesto Police Department, and they were hosting an event. And it was just a big event in the park, and I hit up my friend, and I started teaching her how to hula hoop. And I hit her up, and I was like, hey, like, let's go to this event. Let's go take, because I have at least like 13 hula hoops. I don't know. I have a shit ton. And I've broken some. I've given a bunch away. I mean, I have a lot of hula
You need to
hoops.
just show up in her door.
And
I'm here.
so I told my
Don't let me
friend.
waste my time, please.
I was like, let's go to this event. So I did, and I took all my hula hoops. And then next thing you know, like all the police officers were coming up to me, asking me to show them tricks. And then one of them got my contact information. He's like, yo, when we have more events, we need to have you come by. And so I mean,
Dude,
yeah,
you,
like
you got the structure down.
Yes, we do.
I know that's
It's already a business. You
That's
just
what I'm
have
saying,
To, like,
it's
start
just-
profiting.
Yeah,
I never
you
saw
got
that.
this.
You know, I just
Wow.
like I said, it started for my own pleasure
And that's the thing, and, like,
enjoyment.
It's the passion
Passion.
behind it. You're already
Process.
passionate about it. You spend 4 hours a day doing it, like because you like it. Not even like for any sort of benefit at all besides your
Yeah.
own personal like.
And it adds
Yeah.
value to other people's lives. Like literally at the party, we were all mesmerized. We were like,
Really, I've never seen that
it
before.
added to the party.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
she was demonstrating hula hoop.
yeah,
Well,
everyone was
yeah.
like, "Whoa, you can do that!" Like with the hula hoop. Like
Yeah,
what
that's
the
what I
fuck?
said when
You've
I
only been
first
doing this for a
started. You
year?
know, like
That's trippy.
yeah, I've only been in for a year now. I bought my first hoop in on my birthday last June.
I'm curious what this hula hoop is.
It's something more than you would ever
Have you seen
expect.
Infinity
Doing
War?
it with your finger or something?
Basically like that.
It's like a lot of illusion. Like you got a hoop right. Oh fuck! I think I'm in my car. I could show you later, but it's not that serious.
Oh, I thought you
You can
saw
always
one over
look
here or
up
something.
YouTube. Yeah, it's a lot of illusions. A lot of illusions. It's not. You know how like most people think it's just spin it around your waist. It's not just that. It doesn't stop there.
Oh, yeah,
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
She has one that has like shows like Pokemon and stuff like that. I'm like interested in seeing.
Yeah, yeah. That one I'm gonna use for the ending part of the show because that one it's my most expensive hoop, but it's also the heaviest and not my favorite because of the. That's another thing about hula hoops. There's a lot to learn about like the material, the tubing size. You know, there's 3/4, 5/8. There's
What?
all kinds of materials and all great the
That's like
thickness of the hoop and
That's
it's a
so
lot
cool.
more. Like I said, I didn't know any of this stuff either. But you two like taught me everything.
Exactly.
It taught me how to make them. It taught me how to do certain things. Taught me how to, you know, understand certain movements. So it's cool. It never ends, and that's what I like.
I want to find my hula hoop, you know?
Well, like I said, yeah, because I'm doing like an event at the end of this month. So
An
if you-
event? Where's the event at?
It's at a bar here in Modesto.
Can he be invited?
Yeah.
Or you can go in the event.
No,
and-
everyone.
No, I'm saying like
We should record it for
to
you.
exclusively record it.
Oh
for-
yeah.
So it doesn't even feel like-
For your channel.
It doesn't even
Yeah,
feel like you're spending
exactly.
time and your
Like,
nerves goes up and all
That's
that
the
stuff.
kickoff.
It's just a
Yeah,
small
but
ride.
you need to start like uploading now and like documenting
Yeah, it's just a smooth
your
signal.
you know your
progress.
your preparation for that event.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
post your
That's a
phone
journey
up,
right there.
like, practicing for 4 hours a day, like get some content.
Well, like
right
I said,
there,
it took me. I've been doing hooping for over a year now, but it took me up until like the past. I think I started recording on Snap like I want to say like not even 4 months ago, because I didn't have the confidence before then.
Just
Yeah.
What kind of phone do you have?
put it on
iPhone
video.
6.
iPhone 6. You'd be surprised at the quality you can get for the camera. Like my friend's iPhone 7 can shoot 4K,
Yeah.
30 frames a second.
Well, I need a new phone because my shit's all messed up. But
Well, I'm just saying the camera itself on the back side, you just literally just like prop it up and you just go hooping and just.
yeah, no, and that's what I do
it's
for
like-
my snaps and all. Which the only reason why I like doing snaps is because they disappear within 24 hours. It never happened. Never happened. We move on with our day. That's the only reason why I do it because I'm just like afraid of people looking back and
Gary
like,
B
picking.
kept his old ones.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
Where he sucked on a video when he was doing the wine thing.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Wine
don't
library
don't
somewhere.
delete those. Those are part of your journey.
I
Part of
know,
your story.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Why? Well, thankfully, I mean, all the snaps I did save. I mean, so it's not like they're
Yeah.
gone forever.
Boom,
They're
you
just
can-
gone from you guys.
Already posted on
So
YouTube.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much my goal. Though is working on my confidence. Kind of like, no, you're good. Just kind of like not, you know, letting people get to me or their opinions, and then just kind of get more comfortable with like hooping and just kind of finding more ways to keep building from that. Really, in any way. I wouldn't mind either running a business with hula hooping. I wouldn't mind teaching people how to hula hoop. I wouldn't mind performing for people
You
at
can make
events.
freaking product. Hula hoop.
Yeah, like it could even be all of the above.
It could
Product
be all those
class,
things
coach,
one business.
party
Exactly.
That's
events,
the thing where you have classes on certain days and you teach them. You sell hula hoops.
People sponsor you through your Instagram,
You
your
do
YouTube,
events.
Yeah.
all revenue through
Yeah,
YouTube.
you have
You can-
sponsors.
You,
Like,
you can make a hula
You can
hoop
brand
sponsor.
a product. Get a Chinese
Clothing
manufacturer,
line.
make the
Yeah.
hoops.
Well, because what kind of got
Put
me
it in your name.
Of course. Oh yeah. Well, that's a big thing I've learned is
Stickers.
branding is everything.
Yeah.
If you just sell something without a name on it, it's okay. But once you just make up the logo, branding, it's all of a
there.
sudden more valuable.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what got me to this event. Was I was actually with my coworkers, just out drinking, and my boss, she loves that I hula hoop, so she's like, "You better bring your hoops." I did, and there was a DJ, and he came up to me. And he asked for my name. He's like, I just want to let you know, people thought that you were like actually here with me performing for this whole night. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. So I was like, okay, all right. So they thought I was like an actual performer, but really I was just
So
having
you
fun.
performed with a lot of people already.
Yeah,
How much validation do you want?
I know. How much more permission do you need? You're like, people love it, That like
Yeah.
people aren't like hooping, what the fuck, It's like, whoa, that's sick,
Well, not necessarily they put it down right away. They're just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, they don't really know.
That's
Until they
in
see
their
it,
mind.
until they see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
like, oh,
what the
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's another thing I love about it is people's expressions. They
Surprise.
never would have in a million years thought that was like possible. So it's cool. I like it. There's a lot to it. So it's my goal. Is working on more confidence
Building
with
your
hooping
brand.
and.
I could see somebody really enjoying a 4-hour long video of you just hula hooping nonstop and just having, someone might put it like in the
Well-
background. You know what I'm saying?
If you do
Like AMR kind of shit.
You do it in this
ASMR.
garage, or in your garage, and you get a fat ass green sheet, and you green screen it, and you have a sick ass, trippy ass background going on.
that
and
would
you
be
put some
cool.
music to it,
That would be cool.
and
I
like
smoke a blunt to that.
for sure.
Right. Well, I feel like a lot of people enjoy my fuck up videos because I
Oh,
always
for
have
sure.
videos where
So,
like
like-
I'm hooping and I like my recent one where I was swinging the hoop on my right arm and then I rolled it across my chest, rolled it back, and I didn't catch it and it hit the table and like completely shattered a glass and I came up to the camera like I just broke this and I sent it to everyone. I'm like it's funny, like
Yeah.
obviously I mess up too, so my bloopers are like
For
I always
sure.
drop mine in the pool, so that happens. So
Yeah,
I think
like,
people get
see-
enjoyment out of that.
ton of content already.
Exactly.
Yeah, the bloopers is its own thing right
Oh yeah.
there.
I mean, it just helps me not get discouraged, to be honest. That's why I like
So
sending
when are you
people
gonna
that.
get videotape on this?
On what?
On your hoop?
Well, I'm off Wednesday and Thursday, so that was kind of when I was planning on maybe like trying to record or do something, or even just start the like YouTube channel or
Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah, no, for reals.
There we go.
That
We
would
better
be
hear some
cool.
shit next week, I swear. I'll be hella disappointed.
Sorry, you have
Well,
a business.
I
like a
mean,
whole
on
brand
Monday,
under it.
I'll probably be here because I don't know what time I work, or if I do, but I'll try to be here Monday and then we'll see what we can do from there. But I'm gonna pass it on to him now because it's already like I think 12. Yeah, everyone's like,
It's like the longest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's already kind of getting. That's why I was like, I love this talk and all, but
Damn, it's 12.
it is.
Maybe,
no.
maybe if some of us showed up on time, but.
So what am I supposed to talk about?
Your
Goals.
short-term goals.
Short-term goals.
For the
Okay,
week.
I heard you guys talk about.
Should we tell you the premise of like why we do this? So basically, like we set goals to ourselves. So from Monday to Sunday, something short term that you've been planning on doing, you're putting off the entire time is how you start off, and then from there you continue on just like having goals for yourself. So you seem like you feel like you're actually accomplishing something.
Yeah.
Throughout the week, So, you can
So
put
I
goals.
guess my short-term goal this week is I bought a course, an e-commerce course about eBay drop shipping.
Oh yeah.
And I have studied it the past couple of days, and I'm gonna launch it this Friday.
Nice.
So that would be my short-term goals. Otherwise, where I'm at in my life right now, being aware for my deficiency where I'm at, and just enjoying that process. So the process of adding 5 pounds more on my weight. The process of this week, my success is my wife lost 8 pounds. So I've been going with her in the process. I'm kind of like her trainer. The process of my teenagers right now is homeschool. So I'm curious in how that and works. So basically, for me, it's my eBay dropshipping, which I'm gonna try to execute Friday. So that's basically it.
That's a good goal.
I like
And that's
how
a good thing to do now.
I like how you said that you're gonna do it instead of my goal is to do this. Like, no, I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna do it.
I have to execute it. I mean, before I start something or buy, I have to, now that, I felt like I kind of lost some of those years. So now, I was telling you guys, I always have a reason, but right now I'm just more focused on the result, because you were telling me a story about that kid that's so successful, and even though he was in that environment, he still failed, and I know I'm gonna fail anyway. So the sooner I do it, like crappy video, put it, bring it. I know I'm gonna fail anyway. No matter how perfect the execution is, like, how come I didn't have no views? So I'm gonna do it anyway. So there's no buts. I have gout, so there's times where I can't even get out of bed. So that day, my son drags me every 4 in the morning. It's like, wow, I can't do no legs because I can't walk. Then arms, there is, So push forward, I don't look back. It's I am right now where you see a product of my past. If I want to change my future, this is it. That's why I don't think of being tired right now, even though my body's kind of tired, because I look for something exciting. I look for something worthwhile. I'll stay up all night even if I'm tired, because heck, I'm only made out of time. The energy is never gone, really. Even if we don't have sleep right now, 48 hours, if the next day say, damn, you hit the super lotto jackpot, I bet you're not gonna sleep, man. You're gonna celebrate, and that's what I hack my mind, is look for that excitement, and I could create that just as a fantasy. That's fine too. And to be honest, I wake up in the morning, I just, I hear the kids and bills and my wife, I'm helping her out, and I'm just so drained. Easiest way for me emotionally, I would listen to music, and not just listening to the beat. I want the beat in me, like you talk about rap. I want that harsh words. I want that until my head starts bopping, until I become that, before I even do something, I want to become that. Anyway, I'm delusional, so that's how I operate.
That's real stuff.
So short goal is eBay dropshipping.
Nice.
I think that's a super good first goal, right, for kids.
Yeah.
Alright, Chris.
Okay.
It's all you, man.
Kind of running, got 1 minute.
Oh, you got 30 seconds now.
Alright, I can do it like that. So, my goal from last week was to register for classes. I did that. Keep saving up money. Still doing that. My goal for this week, so I actually got a new job offer this week at Tesla, and so I'm right now I don't know whether I'm gonna take it because it's more money, but like my schedule right now is gonna change, and I like the direction that my schedule is going to change towards, because it'll give me more time. But at the same time, if I go to that new job, I'll pretty much be on the same schedule that I'm right now. I'm just making more money. So I'm just like trying to seek advice, like from a lot of people at work, and like with especially the people where I want to end up with. I'm trying to see if the paths that I'm taking are gonna be sufficient in getting me there. So right now I'm just seeking advice and trying to ponder this and see if I'm going to take that job or if I'm not going to. I think that's the main thing that I'm going to be going through this week, is trying to figure out whether I'm going to take that job or not.
The pros and cons.
Yeah.
Did you write it down yet? Like the pros and cons?
No, I haven't.
It's good to
Well,
write
it's simple.
and look.
You
It's
said
Google.
more time, more money. Your goal is to change your life. So which one would change your life for the better? More money or more time?
That's the thing. I don't know right now because, like, on top of like the time and money aspect, which I already factored into my long-term goal, like that wouldn't affect me, you know. So it's more like about how I'll be in the moment and like what other things I can accomplish. So it's like, there's like two things that I see right now. It's like I can either like really get to work on making a lot more money and like investing properly, or I can have more time and like I can increase my knowledge and do other activities, you know. So that's really where and I value both things. So that's like I don't know which one I need to prioritize.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
a hard one, bro.
Yeah.
Money and time.
So, but either way, like right now I'm in a good situation, so I feel like whatever choice I make is probably gonna be the right one.
Sure.
You know?
Either one.
Sounds like a win-win.
Yeah.
Either one.
Yeah.
I could
So-
always use more of both. More
Yeah,
time.
I mean that's the goal right there, you know, just like having everything.
Both. Yeah.
Like working 30 hours a month, you
Bro,
know?
when I heard that, I was like, what the
Like, what?
fuck? I was gonna say
That's
a
a
week.
thing?
I was gonna be like, oh, okay, 30 hours a week, not bad. But 30 hours a month, it's an hour a day.
Yeah, I work.
I mean, if you have a
What the
goal too,
fuck?
though, and where you're taking that more money, you can possibly do that 30 hours a month.
Right,
That's
right. And that-
initially- See, as a father, to be honest with you, here's my rule with my oldest son. If you can tell me that you already have a passion and you have a mind in your creation that passionate about that, you're convicted to it, you don't need to go to college. But if you have nothing to present to me and it's all up in the air, I would tell you the value as being, already older to you. I want you to provide right now something tangible. You can always let go of that something tangible if you find that. But otherwise, if you're not creating right now, create something. And so that, as a father, it might not apply to you. I would always say, if my son has this thing that I want to get a degree in college and someone present to him that I want you to handle my $1 million business. Handle that $1 million business. You can always, once you create something, that could be a ticket to you to create something for yourself. That's how I approach it. Otherwise, but either way, who knows? Either way.
Yeah. We'll see. That's gonna be my task coming up this week, though. That's pretty much it for me, though.
What was your next week's goals?
Just seeking advice and pretty much accepting it or not, you know. Other than that, I've been going to the gym. I feel sore for like one day, the next day, and then like I'm good to work out the very next day after that. So like I'm feeling like pretty good about that. So I want to keep that be consistent on that, you know. Yeah, and create that habit exactly. Yeah.
Well, we have a trainer, we have the videographer, we have
Sore for
the
like
long-term
2 weeks
investor.
Did you work out today?
I can teach you
This
balance
is the last
with
week of phase
tiny
one.
plastic things.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It's
This is the last week and then
Some
we change it all up
balance
next
stuff
week.
is crazy.
Alright.
You need to get in there tomorrow, bro.
For sure.
All right, guys. How should we wrap this up then?
That's how we
What
do
are
it.
we gonna do? Didn't we say we were gonna do something to wrap it up?
We never actually like fully talked about it.
And we never got questions. What was that question?
Oh yeah, questions. Yeah.
Where's those questions you said earlier, Jasper? Those 2 questions?
Let's finish off that note, yeah, Jasper. Remind us
Why are
the
we-
Yeah,
the three
minus
keys,
those,
the 3 keys to success, and then the two questions, bro.
Those 2 questions, and we'll come back to those tomorrow. Next week.
Tomorrow.
Well, like any, I think Will Smith has also said this, and some other successful people. Just know who you are. Who are you? Who are you? And So why you here? Why do you wanna get that job that's more money? Or why do you wanna have time? Who are you and why are you here? What are you supposed to produce? That's it. Anything else is free for all. Free to your own definition. Just understand that there's a foundation on those definitions. Your belief, your faith, the environment. That way, you know, you have more chances to get successful, and then your execution. That's it. Everything else is all experimental.